Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, cool. So, this video is going to go up on YouTube. So, I mean, I'm streaming this on Twitch at the same time, so. Let's make sure everything's ready. Right, okay, cool. So, welcome to this video slash stream on the Tomb Raider 2 speedrun route and tutorial. Essentially, on the right hand or left hand side here, sorry, I've set up like a custom splits thing, which is gonna go over every trick and glitch and route, etc. In the game. There's a fair possibility I might have missed something, so the splits may not be the splits may be like missing certain descriptions or whatever. But essentially, I started this timer as soon as I started the video, so more or less, if you miss an explanation or you want to go back, you can look at the timestamp in the split. So, for example, like this, you can just look and see, for example, oh, this thing is at 1 minute 27 or whatever. Okay, so preliminary stuff. There's a couple things about this game, or rather, a couple things about this tutorial. First of all, I'm going to assume you know how to play the game, you know the controls, etc. I don't expect you to know any of the glitches yet or anything. Those are all going to be explained, but you need to know the game to some level, like the mechanics and the jumping and the controls, etc. That's not really going to be explained. The other thing is unrelated to the tutorial, but the video in itself. My house is fairly busy, so there's a strong possibility I'll have to pause at some point, but it will be reflected in the timer on the side, so it won't actually affect the timing of anything. There just might be small breaks and stuff. Hello, Benjamin. How's it going? Okay, so hang on, give me a sec. See, case in point. Right. So, couple things to explain off the bat is there's 3 different executables that you can use to run this game, called German, Souls, and Multipatch. Multipatch is known as to be the worst one to speedrun with. It's the one that comes default with Steam, if you download this game off Steam. And basically, the problem with it is it has this really nasty bug called the low ceiling bug, and essentially it means if you're trying to do like jumps when the ceiling is smaller than Lara's jump distance, then you just get a stumble animation. It's really weird. It's not a good exe to use even casually because it's just annoying. So off the bat, I suggest you switch to German or Souls, which links for everything, by the way, that I mentioned are going to be in the description of the video on YouTube. In terms of this tutorial, we're going to be using the German executable, and to the best of my knowledge, I'm going to try and explain when stuff is different on the Souls executable, but I won't be explaining how to do it on the Souls one. Daren has an excellent tutorial for that, which again is in the description. So, let's get started. The first thing before the game even starts is something to be aware of, is when levels start with Lara in the air, which is a fair few times, there's a 1 frame period where you can basically input any action for Lara. So for example, if I press new game and I'm holding jump, you'll see that Lara jumps in midair. This isn't incredibly important on the Great Wall because all you do is hold forward to get a bit of forward momentum, but it's more relevant on later levels, which will be explained, where you can do certain jumps at the start frame of the level. So the first thing you want to do when you start out is just make sure you're holding forward, and it's just going to give you a momentum, and the sequence is super simple. As soon as you've started falling, so make sure you're not holding jump at the start, or you'll just do a forward jump and hit the wall. But make sure you're just holding forward, and then just hold jump, and that's the sequence that happens. So, super quickly, I'm going to do the all weapons and shit glitch, because there's a strong chance that I'm going to use extra resources while explaining things, and I don't want I don't want to run out of like flares and stuff when I'm trying to explain stuff. But obviously, I mean, goes without saying you don't do this glitch in the actual run because it's not allowed in the any percent to use the in-game cheats. So right after you finish that sequence, you'll land here, and then you want to draw your guns to avoid a cinematic cutscene. When you reach a certain point, probably around here somewhere, your camera cuts like this. You can cancel that camera by drawing your guns, and in general you do that for every single cinematic camera in the game, because losing control of the camera while you're trying to do sort of complicated sequences is just annoying. So draw your guns, you're going to do a jump like that, a kind of curve jump to land up here. It's not that easy to do that, so I mean take from it whichever sequence you will, but the gist of it is to just do a slight curve to land up here. You see, it's fairly easy to fail it, but you can just jump like this. But cool. So off the bat, we're going to be doing the first glitch of the game, which is called a corner bug. And essentially, or a corner glitch, it's got a bunch of random names. Essentially, what the premise of it is if you jump against a corner at about approximately a 45-degree angle, you can see Lara starts to glitch into the wall like this. And once Lara reaches a certain point being inside the wall, the game doesn't really know how to handle it, and it just tries to clip her to the top of whatever wall she's in. So this glitch is used throughout the game in various things, and they'll be explained individually because they're usually quite different in the way that they work. For example, this one's not a very common one. As you can see, we're getting like that flicker animation. But they'll each be explained in the individuals. So the way this one works is you come up to this corner and just tap sidestep, so you'll make sure you're in the very corner. You want to turn approximately 45 degrees. If you turn too much like this, actually that was okay angle, but if you turn too much, maybe like this, she'll just sort of clip through and hit this slope, and the glitch isn't going to work. So approximately 45 degrees, and you can either jump twice or jump and hold forward once you're in the air like that. And that will get you into this state. Both of those examples will get you into this, where she's kind of flickering the wall and the camera's going crazy. So once you're in this point, you want to hold action. You fall down like this. And from this point here, we basically want to turn about 90 degrees again and then tap forward. So the reference point you want to use is as you're turning this kind of imaginary line here. So say that this is 45 and then this is 0 and then that goes beyond that. Once you're in this thing, once you're in that flicker state and then you hold action to drop down, as soon as you pass that 0 line, i.e. here, and you get past it, you just want to tap forward. So the movement looks like this. So as soon as you're past that 45-degree line, you just tap forward. And you can see the angle there wasn't good enough, so you just need to adjust a tiny bit, because Lara didn't get the embed. So you jump a couple times, or once and hold forward, hold action, turn, and then tap forward once you're past that point. And you land like this. It's a fairly easy glitch. It will only take a couple practices to get that sequence down. There's nothing too tricky about it at all. So the next thing, I haven't pressed any inputs yet. I've just let the slope knock me off to land here. But basically the sequence for the next bit is we want to do, I guess it's called a slope glitch, a slope bug, whatever. Basically, usually when Lara lands a slope, she slides down, obviously. If there's a ledge like this, so for example, Lara could use an action and forward to climb up on this. When you have a situation like this with a slope and then a ledge, there's a 1 frame window. I think it's 1 frame. It's very small window for Lara to actually perform that climbing animation as opposed to sliding down. So there's usually always a setup for that. You might see some people kind of YOLO it, like they go like this and then jump and like frame perfect or whatever. But we're not going to do that because this is just a beginner's tutorial. So the sequence from here is, it doesn't really matter. Essentially, you just want to get onto this slope like so. Whoops. Okay, I'll show it from here then. So you perform the corner bug. Turn around, tap forward. And then once you're here, you do a side flip like this. You tap back, so you're at the edge. You take 1 step forward, and then you're going to do a back twist and hold action and forward, and Lara climbs up like that. If you press back to if you step forward too quickly after you press back, so like this for example, the setup doesn't work, and there's a strange explanation for it, which is that the sort of in-game coordinate hasn't caught up with Lara yet, so you're not technically in the right spot with the right momentum. So you just want to make sure you wait just a moment. You don't have to wait too long, like not a second or anything, but just a couple frames before you perform the setup. If you happen to fail the setup, it's really easy. You just slide down the slope at any angle, tap roll, and you're in the same spot to do the setup again. So that is how you do that. The next sequence here is kind of tricky. At least I found it kind of tricky. But I saw on Footy's stream he had a really good setup for it. So I'll just get... This is approximately where you'll be when you do it with the proper sequence. So as you're climbing up, you want to draw your guns, because you turn faster when you draw your guns. And the sequence goes like this. You turn 45 degrees to face this corner. You jump. You twist jump to hit the wall. And then you curve like that. I didn't quite get it there, because... I was explaining, so I'll try and do it without explaining, so I can not fail it hopefully. And bump there. But basically, if you jump twist at this wall and kind of glide off the wall, you'll be in the correct spot to turn and land straight in the window. Like so. So the sequence is pretty tricky. You can see that like I'm not even getting it on the first time, which I'll blame on it having to explain it. But yeah, that's what that sequence looks like. There's obviously a couple easier ways to do it. So there's not really an input specific sequence I use for it. It's just kind of like you get the feel for it. But admittedly, I only saw this on Footy's stream the other day, so I haven't practiced that one intently. There's a couple other ways to do it if you don't want to do it like the fast way. There's obviously, you could just come up and climb like intended way. Or as long as you're quick enough, because otherwise it won't be worth it, you can just come to the corner, line up slightly away from the edge, and do the same thing. Like that. There's a use case where Lara will kind of be stumbling on the top. I probably won't get it if I try and do it, but yeah. But there's a case, I think you saw it a couple seconds ago. There's a case where Lara can start stumbling when she lands on the ledge, and this can happen if you land like just on the edge but not quite. And if you ever have that animation, you can just roll to prevent the fall. But yeah, that's how that sequence works. So. Where are we now? Right, so the next bit, once you're up here, you want to aim for this left-hand corner, simply roll over it and do a leg grab like that. And there's a technique you could do, which is basically, once you've landed in the water, you kind of want to just aim for this tile here, the first kind of angled tile, not the second one. If you aim to emerge around about in the center of here, you're going to get Lara's going to emerge from the water like that without an animation. So usually when Lara's getting out of the water, like normally, there's a kind of 1 second animation like this. And this is not really important because it's a small time save and it doesn't happen that often. But it's really easy to do, so it's kind of worth doing it. You just aim for the middle and aim to emerge in the middle there, and you'll get that emerge without the animation. So once you've emerged, you just do a twist jump here. And whoops, I didn't have the right sequence, so you essentially twist jump up here and then just running jump. There's nothing too special about the sequence here. Grab the lever, roll, jump. So this next bit is the this next bit's fairly, I find it 50-50 to be honest. From what I've seen other people do, it's also kind of random whether this next trick works. There's a loose lineup for it, but it's It's only a small time save, so it doesn't matter. But I'll show it now anyway. So basically, the next jump sequence you're going to do is out the door and jump off the wall. And I'll try and show you what it looks like straight up. So you have your guns drawn to avoid the cinematic switch. And then you do a jump like this. And you can see if you get the right angle. I hope I saved actually. Whoops. Okay. I'll explain whilst I'm getting back to the same point. So if you have the right angle once you do that jump off the wall, Lara can be pushed by the sort of strange collision boxes. She can be pushed and land sort of perfectly in the tunnel. Again, it's a very small time save, but it's kind of good when you get it because you can get a good like first level time. So let me save it this time. So once you're in this point, you're gonna just run out like this, hold guns to avoid the cinematic camera. Once you're here, you obviously don't stop. Once you're here, you'll sort of land up on this corner. You want to be aiming to jump, not quite on the corner, but just off the corner, like just a running jump off the corner, and then twist. And if the angle's not right, that can happen. You get clipped to the wrong side, and you just die. But if you do it in one smooth sequence, the angle should usually be right, and you can jump like this. And sometimes you'll get the clip into the tunnel. I'll try and show it, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure of the absolute lineup. So yeah, I did it a couple times, but it's whatever. You then basically just swim into this tunnel. And the next thing that I'll explain briefly, it doesn't really require too much explanation, and this is only used like once or twice maybe, but if Lara's ever picking something up underwater, if you tap the flare button during the animation, she's gonna light a flare, but it's not gonna use up a flare. You can see it's kind of glitchy, like there's not actually the flare, the red model, it's just the sort of like sparks. But yeah, that's a really tiny thing to note. Just if when you're picking something up underwater, during the animation, you just tap the flare button and she'll get a flare. And this is useful here because we're going to do a flare cancel in a bit, which I'll explain. So the next sequence is kind of easy. Basically, you want to aim for the kind of the more right-hand side-ish here, climb out, and then you're going to do a running jump and 2 standing jumps. So running jump, standing, standing. And you land up here, and then you climb up. If you get bad RNG, the tiger can push you. So say for example the tiger pushes you, you mess up the positioning, you can just come here and climb up like this. So it's not really a big deal, and it happens like 1 out of 10 times maybe. But yeah, you do a running jump to the side, 2 standing jumps. You see the tiger almost push me off there. It can happen quite easily. And then you jump off here, or jump up here, sorry. Then you get to the key, put the key in. And then this next part here, actually I'll reload so I can get the proper save point. The next part, there's a glitch you can use to glitch up to the next key. I won't explain it too much in detail because it's not particularly useful as a beginner strat because it's quite hard. But I'll just show it anyway, just in case you want to try it. But essentially, and the reason I'll save is because we have to do it. You have to do it in one kind of large movement. You can't really take too long lining it up because there's a bunch of enemies that will push you out. But the idea of it is you want to aim for the corner of the ladder, go 45 degrees and just jump forward. So you aim to the corner, turn, and jump forward, and then just hold control and forward, and you get clipped up like this. It's pretty tricky. The setup's hard because you have only a couple seconds to do it, but if you practice it a couple times, you should be able to do it. And sometimes the enemies just knock you out as well. So you want to aim so basically, you want to aim so Lara's whole body, i.e. none of her body is crossing this part here. So her foot should kind of be pretty close to that seam in the texture. And as you can see there, the enemies just push you away if you take even like a second too long. So you want to roughly get that line up so her foot's still on this side. Turn 45 degrees and then jump. You can see that lineup wasn't that good, so Lara just went straight through the wall. And that can happen as well. But yeah, if you can't get the ledge bug like this, like if you fail it like that, it's fine. You just walk around like so. You come up the stairs, jump here, turn back 45, and then jump up. It's not really a big deal. But yeah. So, this is, let me see. I messed up the splits there actually by accident. So if you're coming back in the video here, the splits were messed up. Go back about 2 minutes and you'll find the ledge glitch strap. But basically here, I'm gonna do the sequence again because I messed up the timings. But say you're out of here and you do the normal strap, you go around here, just do a couple jumps, turn back on yourself, and then jump at 45 like this, and then you'll pick up the key here, and you'll still have the glitched flare from the you'll still have the glitched flare from the underwater glitch. So this is where we're gonna do a flare cancel. Flare cancelling is essentially if you press the flare button whilst you're holding on to throw flare away, if you press that when you're about to land and it cancels the stumble animation, which is super useful. So if you fall, you see you have a stumble animation like that, and it's about a second long. And this is speedrunning, so we want it to be quick. So what happens is if you tap flare, the animation's cancelled and you can walk again straight away. You can just do other actions like immediately. Usually you can only roll during a stumble animation, but if you throw the flare away to do that flare cancel, then you could do anything. You could start running again or jumping or whatever. Give me 1 sec. Cool. So the Great Wall is kind of a technical level, which is why these explanations are taking so long. But hopefully other ones will be simpler. So once you do the flare cancel, just come to the key, stick it in, draw guns to turn faster, and just jump down here. You want to jump and land on these to pick them up. And then we'll perform the next glitch, which is another like corner glitch. And basically, whoops, I drew a grenade launcher somehow. All these things are trying to kill me, so I'll try and explain quickly. Basically, if there's ever a movable block in the game, if it's ever on a corner like this, so for example, there's just the block's on the very corner and there's space behind it like this. This happens a couple times throughout the run, so it's useful to know. If you're ever standing in this corner, you can aim roughly 45 degrees and just do a forward jump, and you jump straight through. So like so. It's basically like Lara's collision box just slips through the seam, and that's basically how it works. So you just line up the corner and jump. It's not too precise. There's nothing really more to say about that. The sequence here is as you perform that bug, you don't actually start sliding on this one here. You start sliding on the next one. So you want to run to this very edge and get as much distance as possible. Then you're basically going to do a double jump and then a dive, which is what the sequence looks like. So you jump through here, you do a double jump down the slope, and then a swan dive like this. And then you count 5 steps forward, 3, 4, 5. You do a standing jump and hold forward to land you in the water. It's quicker than doing the slow animation. And then climb out. I just realized I'm messing up the split timing, I'm sorry. But yeah, you come down here, light a flare. For this sequence here, you want to turn slightly, roll, and then do a back twist. But yeah, the rest of the level, there's nothing much more to say. It's just running and jumping. This next bit here, we're gonna do a flare cancel. So that's why you light a flare earlier. You want to aim for this side, and sometimes Lara doesn't hit her head there. Ideally, she bumps her head on the back, which lets you give distance. But if she doesn't, you just late grab, like this, turn and roll onto the platform, and then flare cancel down here. And if you're, as long as you do that quickly, you don't need to wait for those. You just can do a double jump. If you're too slow, you'll have to wait for those like blades to go past, but otherwise it should be fine. So yeah, you want to bump like that, roll, and then flare cancel. And as long as you do that in one movement, it's fine. Then you just get to the zip line, hold action, and this is the level over. There's nothing more to say about the level particularly. So drop down here. If you're super low health, you can use your small med pack here that you have, because the tigers, it's kind of random whether they aggro you or not. But yeah, that's the Great Wall. That's how you do the Great Wall. Apologies for messing up the split timing thing. The way it was meant to work was the times represent what time the explanation starts at, which is counterintuitive to what live split is, because it's meant to be when the segment finishes. But I'm using it for this slightly different purpose. So, but yeah. Next level, Venice. It's another level where you start in midair, like I mentioned. So you don't want to be holding any inputs at the start here, because you don't want to like jump or anything. You just want to press Control to skip the stats here, and then once Lara's falling, you just hold jump and do a back twist, like so. Draw guns to kill this dog here. Sometimes he'll run down the alleyway, in which case you want to stop. You don't need to backflip, but if the dog starts running down the alleyway, you just want to stop to kill him. Because if you keep running into him, he'll get damage off on you, and you need as much health as possible for this level. Because there's some RNG later in the level, which means you almost maybe 50% of the time have to use a med pack. So you want to save as much health as possible. So yeah, then you just come around here, light a flare because we're about to use it for a bug, and then drop in the water. So, alright, got the splits right this time. So, once you're at this point in the water, and I'll just save, we basically want to get up there on top of the red red veranda things. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to perform a kind of specific lineup and input sequence, and we can get up there using this corner bug. So, essentially, the lineup I use is, I'll try and swim closer. Not sure how well it comes out, but the lineup I use is, there's this kind of red spot texture here in the black circle. So Lara's head wants to be covering that, and then you turn 45 degrees so that the rest of her head covers this one. And so you line up like this. It's not incredibly precise, so I'm not exactly on it here, but it's fine. You turn 45 degrees, and then you're gonna hold swim. And then once Lara's swimming like this, you're in position to do the glitch. You want to pull up, and then as she's embedding, you want to just tap right, so like a slight right turn, and she'll land like this. If you don't tap right, then there's a strong possibility you'll fall back down into the water. So if I don't tap right, you see, she won't land on the ledge there. So yeah, you want to turn, swim, pull down and right, and then tap flare to flare cancel once you hit that. So that's how that glitch goes. Not much more to say about it. Again, this one takes practice because the timing there is kind of specific. But yeah, then you just do a double jump, and you can either do this in one sequence, jump over to that window. If you're worried about falling or whatever, which it's not the easiest jump to do in one sequence, you can just line up and go back and do a running jump. And you can see there that I was too far to the right, so that's why I didn't make it there. But yeah, you want to do flare cancel, 2 jumps, and you can curve and climb up. Shoot the window, come round. Always be running jumping when possible because it's quicker. Pull this switch, and then you do a back twist here. And then there's 2 ways you can do this next bit. You can do it the YOLO way, which is this way. You basically, in one movement, you line up, you jump when you hit this like 1, 2, 3, this third tile along, like this seam, and then you just do another jump straight from here to land on the red thingy over there. So it's either in one movement like this, so you curve around, jump, jump, and you land like that. And it's kind of tricky to get the correct timing, so there's a safer way, which is you literally just come up to this, press action, you tap back, hold walk and tap back, and you can see that she moves backwards slightly, or forward slightly, sorry, when you do that. And then once you're in this position, once you've pressed walk and back like this to move this tiny bit forwards, you can do a running jump here, and you don't have to grab. You just land right here. Thank you for the host, Patchy. And then you run and jump around here. Roll. You want to run and do a twist here, such that she bumps her head on this corner, and it will just make you land in the river like this. So this next part's completely in the dark, so it might take a bit of practice. I'm going to light a flare, but you don't do this in the run because you need as many flares as you can get for flare cancels. So you climb up here, and then you run forward, and you want to make sure you pick up these flares. It might be kind of tricky depending on your monitor settings, whether your monitor's bright or not. Certain monitors, when there's blacks on the screen, it turns like the monitor off, like it's not even lit anymore. So that could be an issue. Worst case scenario, like you shouldn't really have to, but if you have to light a flare here to get the pickup in, you can just not do the flare cancel from the last trick. But yeah, you climb up, run along here. You can see the items still fairly clearly. So you just pick that up and then hold forward to drop in the water. Then you swim around, climb up here, climb up the ladder. And then there's nothing more to really explain about this level. What was I going to say? This is where the RNG comes in. So basically, the guy here, the enemy here, he's either going to not shoot you at all. He's either going to shoot you a little bit, so you lose half health, or he's going to start shooting you straight away and drain your entire health bar like he's doing now. So you just want to get in the boat as quickly as possible and hold action to boost away. There's a strong chance you'll have to med, so just use a med if you have to. But you want to come around here. Don't boost around corners because you can lose momentum. You could lose control, sorry, not momentum. Then we're going to perform the door trigger skip, which is basically you want to park your boat right about here. Jump off to the side, and then you just do this sequence. You run down, make sure you hit that last wooden tile and drop off, and then just swim back around like this. So usually people used to go and press the button because that's what opened the door, but it was discovered that the door's controlled by like a trigger on a tile rather than the button. So that's basically the sequence you do there. And now the door at the end of the level isn't going to close. Or sorry, it's opened and it's not going to close on the timer like it would in casual play. So once you're here, you want to boost into the bombs and make sure you jump twist out so you don't explode. And swim to the end. Cool. So, Bartoli's next level. You want to boost through and you want to jump off to the left. When you hit those, like, when you hit that second candy cane pole, you want to jump left. You'll land here. You want to kill both rats. And then we're going to perform a glitch we haven't seen yet called a step glitch. And the setup for this one's fairly simple. The second one we do, the setup's a lot harder. So for this one, what you want to do, after you've killed both the rats, you come into this corner, tap sidestep so you're in the very corner. Take one step back and tap sidestep again. And then you want to line up Lara's head with this line here, this seam in the texture. And then you roll, and Lara will get a stumble animation like that. I'm going to try and pause it so it's easier to see. But basically, if you've done the glitch correctly, Lara will get like the stumble animation where she throws her hands in the air. So you can cut. I didn't tab out quick enough, but you can see it there. Whoops. But yeah, if you don't get that stumble animation, just do the lineup again, because the glitch won't work if you don't get the stumble animation. So if the lineup's wrong, maybe like this. Whoops. She'll either not drop down at all, or she'll. I'll try and get it. I'll try and get it to show you. Yeah. Well, she'll either not go up on the step, go fully up on the step, or she'll do the kind of fall, but it won't be the stumble animation. So yeah, you want to just do this lineup, and you get it every time. Once you're in this position, hold walk and tap backwards, and you clip up like this. And then you just want to turn and face the wall at... So Lara's head is on this texture here. If you're too far to the left or right, nothing will happen. If you're too far to the left, she'll just walk off like this and avoid the position. If you're too far to the left, nothing's going to happen. So roundabout in the middle, she'll start doing this animation where she's just kind of stepping. And then once she's doing this, you can just tap left. And you might have to wiggle it a couple times like you saw just then. So if she doesn't glitch into the wall straight away, you might have to wiggle back right. But yeah, then you pop up here. So then you just drop down, do a back twist, come through here, light a flare because we're about to use it again for a glitch. And also it's useful to see this switch lineup. Pull the switch and come back. And then now there's the next step bug, which is a lot trickier because it's got a different lineup. But I do have a trick that I don't know if it's Windows exclusive, it might be, but I'll show you in a sec. So basically you come up to this corner and tap sidestep like before, one step back, tap sidestep, and once you're in this position, you can tap F8 to disable anti-aliasing, and the textures go like pixely. But this is a good thing because it means we can get the lineup better. So the lineup you want to aim for is there's this kind of darker line here, and then a lighter one next to it. And Lara's head has to be almost pixel perfect in the center of that. There's maybe like a 3 pixel leeway like either side, but it's very precise. So once you have that lineup, and you'll still have the flare obviously, you want to roll. And the lineup wasn't even right there, so you can see it. It's pretty much pixel perfect. So you want to be on the seam of those two textures, and roll, and you'll get that stumble animation again. Don't press backwards like we did before, because it will void the position. You want to turn around 180, and you want to start stepping forwards, and Lara will go like this. And once she's doing this, you tap the flare button, and you can see I'm still holding walking forward. Don't let go of walking forward, or you'll void the position. And then you just want to hold right, and she'll step in like this. So that's how you do that lineup. It's kind of tricky. Next, we have a curve jump, which is not as specific, but it's pretty specific. So you want to line up central with these like white tiles. So her head's on the white tiles. You back up, and as long as Lara's kind of central with this like seam in the fence, that's pretty much a good position. It's not too precise. You want to turn so that her head is not like on the corner, but on the other side of the corner. Otherwise, she might bump into the wall. Then you basically want to do a running jump and curve right, or curve left, sorry, as you jump. It's a little tricky. Like it'll take some practice. Worst case scenario, you can do it the intended way, which is shimmying along the red thing there. But this honestly isn't too hard to learn. I just realized I messed up the splits again. But whatever. So once you've pulled up here, there's a YOLO sequence you can do, which is basically you just run along, grab this, you light a flare back there by the way, and then you want to curve drop into this, and you can see I didn't even get it there. That's why I call it the YOLO strat, because I mean, at least for me, I don't find the lineup very intuitive. So it's essentially you want to try and turn 45 degrees as you're falling, and you'll either land on it straight up or get that clip like that. I found a setup which is a lot easier to do, and it's still quicker than the safe strat. And make sure you jump soon enough, obviously. So once you're here, you want to run and hold walk, so you stop at the edge. Turn 45 degrees so that like this texture seam here, like where the door meets the platform, just make sure that's central, and then you just tap roll, grab, and flare cancel. And that's a nice consistent way of doing it. That's not as YOLO. So you want to pull up, run and walk, turn, so it's central, and then roll, grab, flare cancel. It's just a nice little setup that I use, whoops, because it doesn't take too long to line it up. It only takes like a second to line it up, and it's 100% consistent. The safe strat you could do is basically just jumping here, roll, and then jump here, and then flare cancel. So next we just run around here, nothing too special. You might want to do that, not want to do that third jump there, because you can get hit on the wall, which will happen there. Jump through here and kill this guy. And whilst you're killing him, you want to be backing up to this wall, because we want to hit here for a lineup. So yeah, you come into this corner. You come into this corner here. Tap sidestep to make sure you're there, and then simply you just roll. And now you're here, you're in the right position to do the fence bug, which is basically, if you walk at the right angle, Lara can just clip through the fence. You want to turn slightly beyond 90 degrees, so like on an angle like this, and then you just press forward. And you press forward and right. So you can see I didn't get it there because the angle was wrong. But you just turn and press forward and right, and she drops through. Not much more to say about that. Come through here. Pull the switch once you hit it. Back up, draw guns, and run around. Be ready to use your med pack, because when doing the route properly, there's a strong chance you'll have to med here because of these guys. But yeah, just run and jump through this way. And then light a flare for the next glitch. So, this glitch, as far as I'm aware, this is the only time you use this glitch. But basically, when Lara's wading through the shallow water, you can use a flare to clip her into the wall. And pretty much, as you should have realized by now, if you can clip Lara into a wall, then it basically means you can like skip big sections of the game because you can get her on top of stuff. This one's not particularly a big skip because you can actually just run around there and up, but it's still a lot faster. So you just want to line up approximately central with these white tiles, and then you jump, draw your guns as you're falling, and then once the flare has landed, you want to tap forwards and then hold action. You don't want to hold forwards, you just tap it. And then you clip up like that. Oh, and then one thing to note, this wall here is really weird. If you jump and press action, nothing will happen for some reason. You have to hold action and press up to make the jump. I have no idea why that's the case, but yeah. And then you come around here. And this is the end of the level. So, next level, Opera House. The first thing that happens is you're sliding down a slope. So you want to hold left and then just do two jumps and a twist jump. So you just do a couple jumps and then a twist jump. And now you're in a good position to do the corner glitch. So, what I do here after that sequence, I take a side step, turn slightly, and then walk forwards. And then you want to be in approximately this position. This isn't that precise, but it's fairly precise. Sorry, that didn't make any sense. It's not that precise, but it's not as it is still fairly specific. So you don't want to be at a 45-degree angle here because nothing's going to happen. You want to be way beyond the 45. So maybe like this, like not quite 180, but almost 180. And then you want to start jumping. And that angle's wrong because nothing happened. So just kind of line up again in this corner, past 90 degrees, and just start jumping. And you'll see Lara move sideways slightly. She starts to clip into the wall. You'll clip into the wall in only 2 jumps. So as soon as you're doing the second jump, start holding roll, because you need to roll to get up onto this spot here. Oh, god damn it, I didn't save. Okay, so jump, draw guns, tap forward in action once the thing flare is there. It didn't work that time because the flare was in a bad position. But yeah, well, at least I got to show you that again. So, couple jumps there and a twist jump. This time we'll actually save. And then you do a couple jumps here, and if you don't roll, you just fall down like this. So that's the reason you roll. So once you're doing your second jump, start holding roll, and you'll end up here. And then you want to back twist, and come to this position around here. So this is where I'll explain like a mechanic that happens a fair few times in the game. Basically, we wanna make this jump here. We want to make this jump here over to here. If you do a normal running jump, as I'll demonstrate, there's not enough distance. Lara will just die. If you do an extended running jump, which is where you do a standing jump here, so you move forward slightly, and then Lara basically hops off midair, you still don't have enough distance. So the only way we can make that is basically whilst you're doing a running jump, if when you grab during a running jump, it adds distance. Normally in casual play, it's not noticeable because usually you run jump and you're just holding grab immediately. But in speedrunning, it's fairly useful because it means you can make distances that aren't really intended. So what you want to do is during this running jump, you just grab, you press the grab button late. So you run and then tap grab as late as possible, and she gets extra momentum to land on the ledge here. So again, you literally just run, jump, tap grab late, and you land on this bit here. And usually before you do this, you light a flare. So whilst I'm doing the corner bug over there, I light a flare. Actually, I'll just come back here. So basically, once you've done the corner bug, you're right here. You want to back twist, jump once, and I had a bad sequence because I obviously didn't start from the right spot, but you don't usually stumble there. But you're running and you're aiming for this second tile along, so you can see the seam, aiming for the second one. And you just do this running jump off it, and late grab. Whoops, okay, position wasn't right there, clearly. But yeah, you do this late grab, and then you'll usually have a flare, so you flare cancel there. And then you just run around and jump into this spot here. So, once you're in this spot, you want to do another step glitch. So I'm going to light a flare here just so I can show you, but normally you don't light a flare here because you can see fairly easily what's going on. The setup for this is different. There's like 3 different ways you can do this. I'll show you one way which I use. It's not necessarily the easiest or anything, but basically you come up to this wall and tap sidestep, and then you want to turn until your camera moves like so, and do a jump, and Lara will fall like this. And then you turn back slightly until your camera turns, and then you do 3 jumps. On the 3rd jump, you'll land on this step, and now you're in the right position to do the glitch. So you just turn like this, and it looks like every other step glitch, where you just walk and then tap. Walk and then tap right. So I'll do it without a flare to show you. So you step up here, turn until the camera turns, then jump, turn back slightly, and then 3 jumps. Okay, so if you land on the step before the 3rd jump, it means there's something wrong with the lineup. So like just happened there. So just redo the lineup. This glitch is fairly annoying sometimes because you could do the same lineup every time, and sometimes it just doesn't work, and sometimes that happens. But yeah, as soon as you're glitching into the wall, do a jump so you land here, and then you could do as long as you're holding jump, you could do the sequence in 1. So you perform the glitch. 1, 2, 3. You turn around, start stepping, tap right, and then hold jump, and then you can just do this sequence right here. So, this next bit, something I'll mention briefly. It's not particularly important for this specific bit, but it can be important later. Is I'll just talk briefly about AI manipulation in the game. So, if I run up here, you see this AI guy is just shooting me. When an AI gets shot like that, it stops their sequence and it forces them to like generate some RNG and do like another sequence. So you can see he's literally kind of just running away. This is useful in a couple of scenarios. One of them is here because basically you want to shoot this guy once and it's kind of 50-50, but you can see I got it here. Basically glitched his AI, so he's just running around shooting, and but he's not dealing any damage to me, and it's just useful for saving health. So once you're running around here, you want to shoot once, jump over. Sometimes it doesn't work, like he'll still damage you, but it will at least avoid like the initial damage. Then you want to run around here, drop down this slope, and then you want to roll and then grab. The reason you grab is so you fall through. You get forward momentum, otherwise you'll just land on the spikes. Then you walk around here, pull the lever, back, draw guns and turn, and then just walk. And now we're going to perform the opera skip, which is quite simply a curve jump. Basically it looks like this. You just run along and do a curve jump to this spot. It's not particularly precise. It'll just take a little bit of practice. But essentially you want to line up so Lara's like beyond central with the edge of the wall, so she doesn't bump into it. If you're really struggling with this, you can come up to the corner, tap sidestep, do a couple of backups like this, and then you just want to line up so that her head is not like central on the wall, but just slightly beyond it, and that'll give you the right angle so you can kind of push past it. I didn't get it there, but you can just keep readjusting basically. But yeah, once you're here, you come around, jump up here. You want to be careful because if you fall down there, it's rip run, because the door below is closed until you pull this switch. So you pull this switch, you back and turn, do a back twist, and get to this spot. There's a couple different ways you could do this bit here, which is you walk up to the thing, and as long as her foot's not embedded in the wall about here, you should be at the right angle to do like a straight jump onto the top like that. But if you're worried about falling down, which I still do all the time by accident, you could kind of just line up the corner and do the same thing, but just grab. And then you want to hop down here and press the button. Once you press the button, there's two ways you can do it. There's a slightly harder way, which is like this. You run round, jump up to here, jump to here, and jump like this. So the sequence looks like that. The reason this one is preferred is because you don't use a flare up for a flare cancel. But if that sequence is really tricky, you can just jump along like this and drop down with a flare cancel. And you pretty much, it's the only time you pretty much have to flare cancel. Usually flare cancel is just a convenience to save time. But if you don't flare cancel here, you're likely to have some low health off this level. And if you don't flare cancel here, the RNG can mean the dog is sort of right on top of you and can basically kill you. So that's worth noting. So it's worth practicing this one because it's the preferred one. And you come down here and jump to the end level. So Offshore Rig, next level. The way we do this level, there's not much to it to explain. So the first levels really have the most tricks in them, hence why we're so far into the video and we're not really that far. It's because later levels do have kind of easier tricks, I guess. But yeah. basically at the start of the level there's a cutscene which is unskippable, but you just want to be holding walk and forward, and you just do a walking jump like this at the very start to get up to here, and then you pull this block, and then back jump, pull this switch. Once you pull this switch, you're on a timer to get out of the room, so it's important you don't stumble too much or anything, but you come to this corner, turn and jump, and then run around like this, and you have plenty of time to get out. The only time you can miss that window is if you accidentally stumble like more than once whilst you're doing that sequence. But yeah, run up here over the barrels. We can't do anything about these guys because Lara doesn't have any guns anymore. So here, whoops. Okay, cool. I thought I'd cancelled the splits by accident. This window is really weird. Basically, if you roll, well, that was a bad example because the guy shot it, but if you just roll at this window, you clip to the other side. So that there's literally nothing more to say about that. There's no lineup or anything. You just roll and you get onto the other side of the wall. So once you roll through here, you're gonna want to do this sequence here, which looks like this. So you do a kind of sharp curve jump and land here. This is pretty tricky because the hitbox of this plane is weird. For example, if I land on, if I land on the nose of the plane doesn't actually have a hitbox, so you just get clipped like that, and it could be super annoying because it's not like intuitive that doesn't have a hitbox really. So yeah, that's why you need to do a really sharp curve jump around like this. But it's not too precise, but I have messed it up a couple times. There's an easier way, which is you just walk up like this, you back up, and then you take a 2-step running jump. That's a nice and easy way to do it. But yeah, you just want to be wary of that dodgy hitbox. But you drop down here and grab your guns, and then come up here. And there's honestly not much to explain for the next like minute. It's just like jumping sequences basically. So you jump across to here. You don't get that stumble if you jump slightly later. You come to this step and side jump to get up here. And then you just want to find the guys. They, depending on how long you took, they could be further down around the corner. So if they're not there, just run after them. But yeah, you kill these two guys. Pick up this. And pick up the health pack. If you get lucky, or if you line it up deliberately, you can get them to die on top of each other, and you can pick up the items in the same animation. But I'll explain that slightly later anyway. But yeah, then you come around here. You head right. You could do 2 jumps through there, curve, and then another jump to land onto like the wheel here. And then the sequence for this is you just do standing jump, running jump, and you'll land straight on the next one. And then as soon as you've opened the door, you want to be holding standing jump like this, curve round, and grab this. If you're too slow, it gets really annoying to, so like if I wait a little bit, or like say I miss the lineup and like adjust, like it gets really annoying because these 3 guys are just bumping into you. So like this, for example, like I mess up the lineup, like try and get them. So you basically just want to hold jump, turn, and roll straight onto them like this. Then you want to run straight into this room. Careful not to jump there because you'll hit your head. You can't bump your head on that bit though. And then actually let me load because so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna do some AI manipulation, which means we can kill all 3 of these guys without getting hurt. And the way we do it is pretty easy. You just come through here to the second bed. You climb up on the corner, tap sidestep, and then you just turn around. And now these guys are stuck in an animation of just like climbing up like this, and they'll never actually hit you. So as long as you do that sequence like fairly precisely, if you take too long, it won't work. But yeah, you just want to climb to this corner, turn around, and just start spraying them down. It takes 14 shots to kill them, so you can count them in your head to be more efficient, or you can listen for the audio cue for when the guys die, because you can't just hold action. Once an enemy has died, you have to let go of action and press it again to target the next one. So once they're all dead, hop down. You should be able to pick up all three at once. Sometimes you get a bit unlucky. You have to pick it up twice, but it's whatever. Hop up here, grab the auto pistols, do a standing jump, and not hit the edge there, but standing jump straight off, and you won't get a stumble animation. And next we want to do the trapdoor skip, which is basically you jump to here and slide to the edge, then do 2 shimmies left, climb up, and then basically we want to clip through this trapdoor up here. So you turn to the right until, again, find your own setup, but the setup I use is there's kind of like a black splodge here. That's probably not very easily noticeable. Another lineup you could use is Lara's hand is on the seam here. When Lara's hand is like just touching the edge. But once you're in this spot, you can just do a backflip and you'll clip up, then do a back twist, and then do a forward twist here with a couple jumps, grab and drop down, backflip, draw guns, turn. And if you're just starting out, you probably want to save here, because if the angle's like slightly wrong, you'll just catch fire and it's game over. But yeah, you want to be pretty central and you can avoid the fire. Jump up on the ladder, climb up. Well, whilst you're climbing, or well, this doesn't really matter, but whilst I'm climbing, I tap 3, which cues Lara to pull out her auto pistols, which is what we're going to basically be using now instead of the normal pistols. You kill this guy. It takes 7 shots with the auto pistols, because it does twice the damage of normal pistols. You want to light a flare here, jump, grab, flare cancel. Keep coming through. Careful not to jump here because you can bump your head on loads of shit. Shoot the windows if they didn't break from the AI already as you're coming back. And then come through, and this time we head left. You kill the 2 guys here, or the guy and the dog. And then jump over these barrels. Try not to get hit like that. And use the keycard. So, the next trick is exclusive. Well, not exclusive. The next trick is used on the German EXE, which I'm using. On Souls, the strategy is different. So, take a look at Daren's tutorials, which is in the description, for how to do this on the other EXE. But yeah, basically, you draw your guns, and the first thing you're going to do is, there's a guy off to the left who Lara's going to aim at. You're going to shoot once. You're just going to shoot once, and that's going to do the AI manipulation, like I mentioned earlier. And it means that the shotgun guy is not going to be shooting you while you're trying to do this, because that would be horrible if he's trying to do that. So yeah, shoot this guy once, and then jump to over here. Kill this guy in front of you. And now we can do the setup for the item clip. You might see people use the first guy who I just killed to do the item clip, but honestly, it's really tricky and it's like slightly RNG dependent. So if you're just starting out, then you want to do it this way. Basically, this guy walking up, as soon as he climbs up the ledge like that animation, you want to start shooting him, and you're gonna shoot him 6 times because it takes 7 shots to kill them. So you want to shoot him 6 times, so he's 1 shot from being killed, and then you're gonna turn and back up, and then what is going to happen is he's going to path into the wall, and as he's touching the wall, you shoot him a last time to kill him. And thank you for the host, DJ Full. So what it's going to look like is this. So 3, 4, 5, 6, turn, back, and shoot once he hits the corner. And that's going to place the flare right next to the wall, which is going to allow us to clip up there using the glitch. So just one more time. You can hold the look button, by the way, to get this angle like I'm doing, and it makes it easier to count the shots. So, and okay, you may have noticed just there, I started shooting too early, and the shot missed. you want to be really careful about whether you miss a shot, because it means that the guy won't die when you expect, and he may like not be in the right position anymore. So yeah, just make sure they all hit. Look for the blood splats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn, back, and then shoot him once he's in the wall. And once it's in this position, you're going to perform the item clip, which is basically whenever Lara picks up an item, she gets moved backwards slightly. And if the moving item backwards, this happens 3 times in the run, I believe, but she gets clipped into the wall, and she can clip up. She can clip up to wherever is behind her. So there's 2 ways of doing this: the YOLO way, which is basically you pick up the item with your back to the wall, and in one movement, so you can't like stop whilst you're doing the turning, because otherwise she'll pop out the wall. You turn and then tap forwards once you pass the 90-degree point. If you stop whilst you're doing that, this is why it's not recommended when you start out. If you kind of like stop whilst you're turning, you'll be pushed out the wall, and the glitch will be void. So the easier way is to hold walk and turn, and now, well, you still have to do it in one movement, but it's easier basically. So hold walk and turn around like this. Once you're past 90 degrees, you won't be clipped out of the wall. So once you're in this position, past 90 degrees, you won't be clipped out. And yeah, once you're anywhere past 90, you just press forward, and she gets clipped to the top. So pretty easy. Once you're up here, draw your guns, and you're going to kill this guy. He takes 7 shots as well. You're going to come here and pull the switch. And you're going to pick up this shotgun ammo, because you need it for later. And then there's a sequence coming up. Well, not a sequence really, but basically, whilst you're running here, you want to aim for this. You want to do a running jump for this corner. It's a little bit tricky, but it basically looks like that. If you don't get it, it's no big deal. You can just drop down and climb up normally. But yeah, the next trick that we're going to do is basically a huge skip for Offshore Rig. It basically means that you don't have to do the entire like underground puzzle bit. But basically, I'll first show you the setup, which is you swim up like this and climb up. Once you've climbed up, don't press right or left or anything, because it will void the setup. Once you're here, you want to count 8 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you're in this position, you do a side flip. And actually, this isn't the correct position. Let me try again. I was too far away from the wall. Usually what I do is I count 7 steps as to when to let go of the input. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to try and do it without talking, because I keep messing it up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that. So after you've counted 7, just stop. And this is the right position. She should be like just over this like seam in the texture, but not too far like we were before. So once you're here, you do a side flip. Now you're in the right spot to do the setup. So basically, we want to jump to that ledge down there using the late grab technique that I was explaining in Opera House, but it's almost impossible to do without the setup, because there's like I believe there's a 2 or 3 frame window to make the grab, and yeah, there's not much point doing it like a YOLO way, because not even like World Record Run uses the YOLO way, because it's just like a frame perfect grab, and there's a really easy setup. So I'm going to introduce something now called pause buffering, which is basically when you're in the pause menu, if you tap to close and then hold it, like you can see on my inputs, it will automatically open up the menu on the next frame. This means you can do setups for a lot of tricks like this by advancing the game's like, how would you call it, like update cycle, I guess. You can advance it 1 frame at a time by using these setups. So with this in mind, with the pause buffering, we're going to buffer first of all Lara taking out her guns. So the way you do it is you tap escape to close or whatever your menu button is, tap the menu button, hold the input that you want to buffer, but make sure you re-hold the inventory button. So it looks, if you look at my inputs, it looks like this basically. So we just buffered Lara taking out her guns. Then we're going to do 2 buffers of nothing. So just 1, 2, like so. And what this setup has done, it's left us in the perfect state such that Lara will draw and put away her guns twice. And then after she's putting her guns away the second time, the frame in which she's allowed to grab again is the correct frame for grabbing the ledge. So once we press escape here, we want to be pressing forwards, jump, and guns. So it looks like this on the inputs. And then as she's putting away her guns for the second time, you hold action. So you pause buffer taking out guns, you do 2 buffers of nothing, and then when you close it for the third time, you want to be holding guns, you want to be holding forward, guns, jump, and then as Lara's putting her guns away for the second time, you hold action. Like that. And that's 100% consistent. If you learn that lineup and that buffer strategy, you'll never miss that jump, ever. It's all of this game's inputs are analog, so there's no like RNG involved with Lara's movements, which means that stuff like that is just 100% consistent. Oops, I didn't mean to light a flare there. One of the funny outcomes of bugs like this is you're not meant to be in this area yet, so this water is like not loaded, so you just kind of walk into a wall of water. But yeah, you come down here, pull the lever, swim through, and it's level over. Cool. So the first thing we're going to do is, I'll just save just in case. The first thing we do is run around here and do a jump to this second like tile along, and we land perfectly on this lever here. A couple things to note. I've done this once in a run. If you jump too early, you'll hit your head and just fall into the current to your death. So yeah, make sure you don't do that. Just make sure you're fully clear of that wall and then jump and grab for this bit. Once you're here, you won't be affected by the current, so just pull the lever. And then once you've pulled the lever, you want to do a specific swimming sequence such that you don't get pulled into the current. So you want to turn about 45 degrees and hold swim. And as soon as Lara starts getting pulled away, you just got to hold left again to correct her back to 45 degrees. Just like that. And that's also, as what I was mentioning about the game's input, that this is also 100% consistent. Like, there's no RNG involved with the current or anything. But yeah, you just want to be careful, because like, if you don't correct the angle or something, you get swept, and then it's just game over. So as long as you do it like that, it's fine. So you swim, and as soon as she turns, you correct back to 45. And then once you're at this spot, there's no current, so it's fine, you just pull up. So there's a little bit of the AI manipulation here, like with before. Basically, those guys, you just want to try and aim and shoot them once as you're moving here, because it means that they don't block you later on. So you just shoot them once, jump to here, and then to here, and then because you shot that guy, he won't be blocking you. Let me kill these guys real quick. Okay. So you don't kill those guys in an actual run, obviously. There's no need to. But I'm just killing them to show you the lineup. So basically we want to get to that like bit here, whatever you call this, sticky out bit. The lineup I use is just like the orange tile on the roof is like the central tile. So once you're at this spot here, like after the jump, you just run and just jump aiming for the kind of middle bit. And then you want to jump as late as possible here. That timing can be tricky, so that might need some practice. So, once we get to this bit, a camera's going to be hijacked. You can tap look to ignore it. But next is going to be the ladder glitch. This glitch is different in the Souls EXE, so again, look at Daren's tutorials, because they'll explain it how to do it in the Souls in full. But the way you do this on German EXE is you basically jump into this corner here. Jumping gives you the best lineup. If you try and if you shimmy to the very edge to get the lineup, because you want to be in the corner. If you shimmy to the edge, you're not quite enough in the corner. So you just basically do a jump to kind of land in this corner spot. And try not to get the stumble, because then it won't work either. But I'll show you the lineup anyway. Basically, the way this works is you want to jump and grab. And I'm going to try and tab out here at the right spot. But, okay. Whoops, what have I done? Okay. I'm probably not going to be able to. But basically, I'll explain the lineup first. Lara's like bicep is going to go into the wall. And as soon as you see it like fully disappear, that's the reference point you want to use for letting go. And when you let go, you want to hold forwards and right. So you tap down like this. As soon as the bicep disappears, you hold forwards and right. So what happened there was I did it. I'll try and show you the couple outcomes basically. So if you let go too quick like this, Lara gets to the wrong spot and she'll fall to her death. If you take too long, the same thing happens. So if you take too long like that, either nothing will happen or you'll get the same bad clip like this. So it's kind of specific. You need to land the timing in the middle of those two, such that she doesn't get like the lethal outcomes basically. So there, that's basically what it looks like. The timing is pretty specific. This just takes practice, honestly. The reference point I use, like the bicep, it's kind of a loose reference point, so it doesn't always work. But like you can see there, honestly, this is about practice and timing. So you're just gonna have to find out what works for you in terms of that glitch. But yeah, once you're up, you come around here and pick up these two things. As you start to get better at runs, you won't need to pick up as many like items and shit like that. But yeah, then you just back up down here. As you're reaching the edge, hold action to get forwards momentum so you land through. Otherwise, you'll fall straight down. You want to kill this guy and grab his stuff. And then you want to basically come around here and just jump and aim for this spot and do a late grab to get some more distance. And you want to land in this bit here with the card. So the sequence is basically you just come around, jump, do a late grab, and then hold control as you're falling. You land straight on the card. And then there's a sequence you do here to get in straight into the window over there. You basically turn until your camera changes. You do one step back, and then just do a running jump. So turn until the camera changes. Step back, and it's a little bit precise, but yeah. Again, practice. Jump through here, and you'll be back at the ladder. So you want to jump and grab the ladder and just safety drop, basically. And then once you're here, you do the exact same ladder bug. When you're starting out, you're going to want to save on these ladder points. Because, yeah, you can see how easy it is to fail it, basically. On the Souls EXE, it's a lot easier to do this glitch. So it's often recommended as more like beginner friendly, but it's personal preference, to be honest. Yeah, drop down through here. And we've got the card now, so we come this way instead. Put the card in. Draw guns and jump this way. So there's a couple enemies going to be here. There's a couple ways you can do this. So the first thing you want to note is you want to hug this left-hand wall and stop whilst you kill these two dogs here. And then you run forwards and... okay. Basically, I waited too long on... Where did I last save? Okay, I waited too long whilst I was at the key card, so that guy's pathing is actually messed up. He doesn't usually run away like that. The flamethrower guy won't run away like that usually. So, assuming that it's in the right spot, you come to this corner, wait, kill the dogs, and then you run straight into this guy while shooting. If you take too long, he's a flamethrower guy, so he will just set you on fire and it's game over again. So you want to make sure you're just shooting him the whole time. Now, 2 dogs are going to spawn down this way. You can either kill them straight away or kill them later. It doesn't really matter. But you come around here. If you didn't kill the dogs straight away, this is where they'd catch up to you when you're opening this. So you'd want to roll and kill them there. But yeah, you come through here. Draw guns. Kill this guy, 7 shots. And hop down into the water down here. This is where you'll likely have to med in the run, because this harpoon guy is going to shoot you down. You'll have small medi packs most likely, so just use a small med if you get too low. Come around here. And we're just going to take a drink real quick. Come around here. Nothing to say about this this sequence really. There's diving areas are pretty like long level, mainly because there's just a lot of like running in it and repositioning. But honestly, the sequences and stuff are the same as like how you play casually. Apart from like the ladder glitches explanation, there's nothing more to it. Whoops. So you come around here. And here I'll explain the next random little thing, which is a double pickup trick. So as you're running through here, the sequence is going to look like you kill this guy on the side, Lara will aim at him. You kill this guy who's really far back for some reason. Again, I think the position of enemies is a little messed up on this level because I've taken a lot of time to stop to explain things, so they've moved around. But yeah. Essentially, those guys take 7 shots to kill, so your aim is to turn around, shoot him 6 times, and then fire the killing blow once he lands on where the other guy died. And then it means you get this double pickup like this, so in only 1 animation. Again, it's not too important when you're starting out, because it's more of like a kind of like second or 2 saver rather than like a big thing. But you can see I didn't get it there because they weren't close enough. But yeah, 5, 6, 7. But yeah, you don't want to pick those up straight away. You want to just wait here. And then the sequence that I do for this is basically you aim for the right hand side and jump. And hang on, I'll get into the position you'll actually be in rather than around here. So you'll be in a position like this after you kill the guys. So you want to do a jump here, a second jump, and a third jump, hugging the walls to avoid the flame, obviously. Hug the wall again, drop down here, grab the M16, back, jump, and then do a walking jump, hug the wall. And that's the way I do it to avoid the flame, but there's obviously loads of different ways you could do that. Pick up those 2 things, run over to this guy, and grab his shotty. And then keep going. And again, there's nothing more to say about this bit. This is just running back to where we were before. You can't hit your head on this little texture here, so you can just keep running, jumping there. You're going to push this block. And then you're going to use the item thing. Draw guns to turn faster and walk out. And then you're going to want to run here and jump straight into the water. There's a flamethrower guy on the side, so just be careful about taking too long there. And next we're going to do underwater corner clip. So this is a super easy, it's nothing like the Venice one or anything, it's super easy. You ignore these harpoon guys and swim out to the right hand side. You want to line up with the, be on the left hand side of the texture seam, turn 45 degrees, swim and just hold down. And you pop up like this. And it's honestly, it's really forgiving in like the lineup. Like, it's rare that you won't get that clip as long as you roughly line it up 45 degrees. But yeah, you just come to the edge, 45 degrees, hold swimming down, and then you just jump like this. You wanna try and do a jump and a grab there just to get some forward momentum to skip as much of like the wading water as possible. Okay, like I mentioned at the start, I might have to stop randomly because people come in and talk to me. But yeah, the next sequence you want to do is you want to 180 on yourself and try and do a running jump without bumping your head on this thing. It's a little bit tricky, and again, it's not like crazy important because it's just like a small time saver. You see I just hit the wall there, but yeah, you come through here, climb up, and this is the end of the level basically. The last thing you do is stay on the top here and just kill these two guys from above. As you're killing the last guy, just drop down, and that's the end level trigger. So, next level, you want to turn around and make sure you're swimming and following these barrels and boxes. If you swim any other way, there's like just doesn't lead to anything. You'll just you'll just die. So yeah, just turn around and follow the barrels. And there's not much to say about this level. There's a couple of sequences and like an interesting glitch, but that's about it. Mostly you're just going to work your way through it. So you swim down through here and pop up. Just wait a couple seconds and then you can dive back down again. You just want your air bar to go back up to like 70-80%. You can do the whole thing in like one breath sequence, but you'll lose a little bit of health towards the end, and there's just not much point, to be honest. Swim around here, hold look and roll to turn around. Actually, you don't need to hold look there because the camera doesn't get hijacked, but yeah. Swim down here, through here, and up through here. So next we'll do a little jumping sequence to skip that I learned off Pouchy. I don't know if he actually made it or anything, but basically you climb up here and you're gonna jump, roll, side flip, roll, like that, and you're in the correct position. So that's just like a really nice strat to use. You can come to this corner, back, and then jump, and do the jump like that, but there's a strong chance you'll bump your head if the lineup's not correct, and also there's a small chance Lara can get void if she, I'll try and show you. If she's at the wrong angle, she can glitch up, and if you glitch up by accident, then it's unrecoverable basically. But this sequence is super easy, and it's almost identical time. So jump, roll, side flip, roll, and then running jump up here. And the next trapdoor sequence can be a little bit tricky. So you basically want to be on this side and kind of turn as if you were like aiming for this corner. Obviously you don't wait so the guy doesn't kill you, but yeah, you want to be running as you turn for this corner. You drop down onto this, roll, and then jump like this. Whoops, not like that. But yeah, this takes some practice. If you fall down, it's really annoying to recover. So just practice this bit so it doesn't happen, basically. But you jump to here, here, curve jump, and then do a slight curve there to make sure you have enough distance to running jump. But yeah, that's basically that. Run through here. This next bit is interesting. It's the only time you deliberately get set on fire in the run. But basically, there's water on the other side of that. So all we do is we run straight through the fire, pull the switch, use a large med pack so we don't die, and then jump straight in the water. So essentially, you just jump, come here, pull. Okay, if you wait too long there, you'll have to use more than one med. So maybe save here if you're not too confident, or but yeah, you want to land straight on the switch. Watch your health so you can use a large med pack. I used it slightly too late there. If you use it optimally, you should have about 60% health left after you land in the water. But yeah, run along, use the med at the last possible second, and then jump straight in the water. Whoops, don't do that weird sequence there. But yeah, swim straight up through here. And pull the lever. Hold, look and roll to gain the camera control back. And then swim down. And pull this lever. Then hold, look and roll again. And then come up here. I can do later, Jordan, but this isn't a run, this is like a tutorial, so I'll be like a couple more hours. I think I saved twice there, I don't know why. Okay, so the next bit here is you want to be running for the left-hand side, and then as you reach the edge, you got to curve right and then grab so you can drop down. So you curve right and then press grab to land on this spot here. If you mess it up and fall down there, I'm not actually sure if there's a recovery. I don't think it's ever happened in a run, to be fair, because that's not too tricky, that sequence, but you probably just have to run all the way around or something. But yeah, basically try not to do it. So you run down, you run here, start curving right, and just grab, and you land here, and then you do step running jump up to here. Come along here and pull the switch. And then just keep doing running jumps. Stumble and turn. It's actually better to not do a flare cancel there because it lets you turn properly. Once you hit this spot, roll and grab to fall down this way. If you fall the wrong way, and it happens sometimes, if you roll too late, you can just walk around and aim up for this spot here. Yeah, so it's not too big of a deal. You want to run and jump through to here. Whoops. And yeah, that can happen to you. So that's why it's good to know that you can get back up from this bit. But yeah, the next glitch is an interesting one. It's used a couple times in the run. It's essentially, the premise is, if there's a really long drop, if you can find a setup or a position such that Lara can do a swan dive, and if she can hit the wall and the floor on the same frame, then she doesn't take any damage. And luckily, it's pretty easy to like find setups for sequences like this. So, of course, someone found a setup, and basically you move to the corner here, tap sidestep and forward walk, make sure you're in the very corner, and it's not pixel perfect, but there's maybe only like 5 pixel either side leeway for getting this trick correct, otherwise Lara will die. But yeah, basically you want to make sure her hand is just covering this kind of like blue spot, this blue texture here. So for example, this would work here, where her hand is covering this like blue spot. But if you don't like that lineup, you can find your own one from this like frame here. But yeah, once you've got this lineup, the sequence is fairly simple. You do 2 back jumps or back steps, whatever. Tap forwards once, and then from here you're gonna do a running hold forward, jump, and walk to do a swan dive. Don't press left or right or anything, because this is the correct position to do it. So you just literally do a swan dive from that. And you land here. As you can see, so back, tap forward, and then just do a swan dive. And Lara doesn't die because she lands in the corner. So then you roll here. And then come through here. The same thing as Offshore Rig. There's a wall of water there because we weren't meant to be here. When you start out, it's worth saving here because there's a strong chance you'll need to med because of these two guys here. But you want to run out, pull the lever, side flip, and jump forward, and use a med if you have to. It's a kind of annoying sequence. Sometimes you get lucky, you don't have to med. Sometimes you could just die there and stuff, but and sometimes the guy can push you back in the water. But yeah, I recommend saving there when you're just starting out. So next level, you want to come to here, do a side flip, and then so you're in the right spot to swim here. Come through here, climb up, turn and grab the medkit. And then if you've played this game casually, you'll know that there's like the collapsing platforms down below. And if you just fall normally, Lara's going to lose like 90% of her health, and that is not ideal, especially for this level. You do need health. You do need more health for the end of the level. So there's a fairly easy sequence. You slide down. You don't have to grab, but you could just tap grab to make sure you land in the corner. And when you land, you're going to roll, wait literally like 2 frames, and then roll again and grab. So it's going to look like this. So you grab, roll, then just roll again. And now that you grab this edge, you get a safety drop, and you only lose like 20% of health. Whoops. So yeah. Grab, roll, literally wait like only 1 frame before rolling again, and then you come down. Then drop in the water, grab the med if you need it, right there. Swim up through here. Now, this next sequence is pretty tricky. There's a lot going on. I'm going to save whilst I'm here. So, the first thing to note is the very first sequence, which is basically you want to hop out, tap 6 for M16, and then curve around like this. I did it slightly too late. So you want to emerge on one side, tap 6 for M16, curve jump to avoid this guy, and then you kill these two with the M16. Then you run over to this guy and grab his shotgun shells because you need them for later. And then from here, we're going to do the setup for another item clip. So, let me explain. Obviously, you wouldn't do all this jumping like this. After you've killed the 2 guys, using the M16, you'll want to start shooting this guy straight away, basically. But more or less, like, take your time for this one because the setup is tricky, and many runs have died here, basically, for getting this trick wrong. So, same as before, you want to shoot this guy 6 times because he takes 7 shots to kill. So, 4, 5, 6. Once you've hit him 6 times, you come around here. And you come around the long way to sort of lead him on a bit. You want to stop here on this tile, this like second tile from the wall. Now, this bit isn't that precise, but hang on. I'll run him around again and show you. It's not insanely precise, this first bit, but the second bit needs to be pretty precise for the actual item clip to work. So you want to make sure you get the sequence right. And I always used to fail this constantly. And the sequence that works for me now is basically you get here, you turn. As soon as he comes into your frame, you jump up here, roll, and then curve jump around like this. So once you've done that, he's in the right position to be killed. Whoops. So as soon as he steps into frame, jump, roll, and then, whoops, I messed up there. So jump, roll, curve, and jump. And make sure you're holding right to hug the wall, because otherwise he might be in the wrong position. If he's like even like a pixel off hugging the wall, then the item won't be in the right spot. But yeah, hug the wall and jump. Once he hits the third flame, kill him like this. So now the item's in the correct spot to do the item clip. So you want to roll, sidestep like this, and bear in mind if the item is too far from if the item's too far off this corner here, which it sometimes can be, you're in the radius to be not catch fire, but you can be hurt by the fire. So just be ready to med if you're being hurt by the fire. But basically, like before, sidestep, pick up the item, and then you just turn and tap forward. Whoops. Hopefully I didn't mess up the thing, otherwise I'll have to grab a save. But actually this so actually it's kind of good that this happened, so I can show you basically. But because the lineup is like so precision. Once Lara picks up the item, the reference point that I use is basically if her ear, the ear texture isn't inside the wall, it probably means that the lineup isn't good enough. So you can see here her ear texture is not inside the wall. So this embed is not good enough for her to complete the item clip basically. So I shouldn't have been saving everything. That was my bad. But let me grab. You pull out M16. Jump past the first guy, because we don't want to kill the first guy, obviously, because we're using him for the item clip. You grab the shotgun shells here, and then you set up this guy to die, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now he's on enough health to be a one-shot. You come here to this tile, save the game. Jump when he's in frame, roll, and then curve jump. And make sure you're hugging the wall. Cool, so this should be a better position now. Again, that demonstrates that it's like pretty tricky, so once you're in here, you do the same as the offshore. I'll do the lineup again. You do the same as in offshore, which is you simply either do the safe way or the YOLO way. You can rewind to that part of the video where I explain that. But yeah, again, if you kill the guy too close, you'll be in the fire radius, so just be ready to med. And then you turn and pop up like that. So yeah, I had to med there because I was in the fire radius, which can happen, but it's kind of whatever. So you want to be jumping along here. You want to hold and look your camera this way so you can know when to jump, because it's like a curved, because it's like a slope, you can't actually see where the edge is. So it's helpful to just like look sideways as you're running. Then you come here, roll, and drop down. And the next part, this next part doesn't have anything special. It's just going to be going through like the regular way of playing, I guess. So you jump this way. Climb up. There's a guy here, but ignore him for now. Once you hit this bit, you can kill him. You can do a standing jump, and then pull this. Make sure you pick up this guy's med as well, if you need it. Push the block here, and we're also going to want to pick up the flares, but there's like an easy little sequence you can do to pick up the flares. So after you've pulled this switch, hold look to get your camera back from the thing, and then you just turn slightly and side flip, land on the flares, and then we're going to run this way, back again. An important thing to note is, at this point, you should be checking what health you're on, because basically this next swimming sequence has sharks, and if you're under, I think maybe like 40-50% health, the sharks can just execute you with like a single animation before doing damage. So if you're low health here, you're definitely going to want to med, because the shark will just, if the shark gets near you, he'll do like an execute animation where Lara just gets eaten. But yeah, if you're full health though, then it's fine, because they won't do the execute animation. They'll just like do damage to you. But yeah, swim around, grab the key. Like, okay, I mean, I'm glad we got the example at least. But yeah, you can see there I was on about 30% health maybe from being damaged, so I didn't even get a chance to med there. The shark just straight up did the execute, and that was bad. That was fairly bad RNG, to be fair. Usually the sharks kind of wait in this area, but you could see there they were both lurking like right by the key once I picked it up. But yeah, grab this. Avoid the sharks as much as possible. Come back through up here. Stagger your jump slightly there, because you don't want to bump your head on the thing. But then you come round. And whoops. You want to aim for this keyhole. And then we're going to do another trapdoor skip, like we did in Offshore Rig. But basically, it's super easy setup, and it's fairly permissive as well. So from opening the key, you jump left. And then basically, you're going to run forward. When you hit the step, you're going to just tap walk to enter like a walk animation for one step, and then you're just going to hold jump. So you can look at the inputs to see what this looks like, but basically, tap walk and then tap jump. And then that just puts you in the correct position. That's just like the correct sequence to clip up. Yeah, tap walk, tap jump, and you pop up. It's not too hard, honestly. Then you want to run along here, and you can either YOLO this jump or line it up safely. I always line it up safely just because there's, as you can see, there's a lot of random stuff around there, like the spikes that could get you. But yeah, just line up with so you're at the ocean, and then just do a simple running jump. Of course, you can just practice it and do like a curve jump without doing any kind of lineup, but yeah. But that's this level done. We basically just have to swim around now. There's a lot of random little fish enemies here, so if you're like really low health for whatever reason, you may need to consider medding as well, but yeah. And that was Wreck. It's a very annoying level when you start out because the item clip is hard, as you saw from me failing it and having to grab a save. But yeah, that one comes with practice. I would practice the item clip as much as possible. I messed up some stuff because obviously I'm explaining, but yeah, as long as you follow the setup that I used, you should be able to get the item clip consistently. But yeah, so off the bat here, there's a safe strat which you can do, which is you just come around here and pull this lever, which is going to open the trapdoor that we have. But whoops, I don't think I saved as well. Okay, whatever. I'll have to swim back to where we were. So yeah, I'll try and save time by explaining. Basically, you can pull that lever and then just swim to like the trapdoor as you normally would. Honestly, it doesn't waste that much time pulling the lever if you find the trick that I'm going to show you in a sec. If you find it too hard, like it doesn't waste too much time. I just realized I should have done the level skip cheat instead of swimming back, but whatever. So, you can pull the lever around there, or we can use a simple lineup to skip the trapdoor, which is you just hold forward here, and the current is going to drag you to this spot, if you just keep holding it, and then you pull up to swim. And don't press left or right at all, because the current will have put you in the right spot. But then you basically, as you're turning, you can hit a point you see where the camera like shuffles back and forth. You just turn to the point where the camera pops like this. Pull Lara up slightly so she's covering like the first line of dots on this texture. And once you're in this spot, you could just maybe slightly higher like this. Yeah, so her head like completely covers it. You just hold swim, and she'll clip up like that. It's a very easy lineup. It's worth learning because it saves a couple seconds from having to pull the lever. But if you're finding it too hard, you can always just pull the lever back there. But yeah, hold swim, hold down once you hit this bit. Turn until your camera pops forward slightly. Once you're in that spot, just tip up till Lara's head cover the dots, and then swim. And that's that lineup. Pull out your auto pistols to kill this next guy. Grab his med if you need to. Grabbing meds is often about just like how well you're doing for meds. When you start out, you tend to use a lot of them, obviously. Oh, whoops. Just did a random sequence there. Let me hop back. So once you've killed the guy, you can run along here. And then do a jump off this step. The hitboxes for those are super annoying for these like wheel things. The hitboxes are really annoying, as you can see. So it's worth getting a good lineup there. So next we're going to do another like corner shelf bug, ledge bug, whatever it's called. There's a really easy lineup for it. Basically, you come to here, shimmy to the edge, till the very edge, drop, roll, and using pause buffering, we're going to do two right buffers. So 1, 2. Wait a frame or so for Lara to stop, then just hold forward, and once you're here, you're in the correct position. So you want to turn until Lara is like her head is dead center with the corner, and then you're going to forwards jump and hold roll. Make sure you're holding roll because otherwise Lara's just going to die there. But yeah, if the angle is wrong, there's a strong chance you'll die. So, but it's fairly easy because it's obvious when Lara's like head is dead in the middle, like so. Because you can just line up like the pixel, the central pixel with this one. But yeah, then you forward jump and just hold roll. Okay, you see the lineup was wrong there, so it can be easy to mess it up. But again, I was explaining stuff, so I wasn't paying attention or whatever. But yeah, in an actual run, you just take the time to line it up like central, and hold roll, and you clip up to the top. So in the Souls executable, that's done differently, and it's a lot easier. So again, check out Daren's tutorials because he'll tell you how to do it. But yeah, you pull this lever, light a flare, you take one step back, backflip, then roll and flare cancel, and that's that sequence there. Then you run through this way and drop down. Then you're going to pull this lever and roll and look. Hold roll and look to get the camera back. Swim here. It's worth noting that for this, you want to swim far to the right hand side and like curve really far right around the door, because it has a really annoying hitbox. So if I'm trying to swim like this, I just get stuck on something invisible. So just make sure you're curving right like that. Then you want to swim, go slightly at a downwards angle so the harpoon guy misses you. And then you want to grab this lever here. And then to avoid this fish next time, you just want to hold roll and look once you pull the lever. And you just want to aim up to swim over him, because he can actually do a lot of damage to you. Coming through here and up. Climb out the right hand side. And then this next sequence is really easy. You just do a running jump twist like this, and then hop up like this. Easy peasy. Come round. This next bit, just hold jump and jump down. There's a quicker way to do that, but it involves the risk of dying to spikes, which just isn't worth it. Come to this corner here, and you want to turn until your camera changes. And you want to do a running jump off this like edge here and aim for the corner. Whoops, not like that. You do a running jump off the corner and you curve round such that you miss the water completely. You can see I'm messing it up. I'm messing it up really badly, so. But yeah, ideally it looks like that. Hello Noodle, how you doing? So this bit here, you want to jump and aim for this like corner, and then try and like side jump through. Sometimes you miss it, but yeah, there's no spikes down there or anything, so it doesn't really matter if you fall there. So next we're gonna do a slope glitch, another slope glitch like the one from Great Wall, and the setup's really easy. Basically, you just slide down this, tap back. Oops, sorry. Tap back. Tap forwards once, so you do like the run, and then do one step back, and then you do a back twist and hold control, and that's the setup. Then you come around here and you want to jump off and flare cancel. How long have I played this game? Not too long. I started running it only a month ago, but I played it as a kid. Run along here, draw the M16. And this shooting sequence is not too tricky, but basically you want to curve around here and jump as you hit the wall. And as soon as you see Lara aiming at the guy, just start shooting, because the M16 has really annoying mechanics where basically you can see if you like stop moving or like change Lara's animation state or walking state, you can see that the M16 stops shooting. So you want to make sure in like one swift movement you're like jumping and shooting. So, again, it's not too bad if you don't, but yeah, you kill that guy, kill this guy, and start walking and shooting for this guy. But yeah, get rid of all those three. And next is the setup for another like late grab trick. You don't need to pause buffer this one because it's not as specific as Offshore Rig one, but you want to come to this corner, turn Lara so that this white line here, this like texture, turn it so it's like central like that so you can see it. It's not too precise, but make sure it's like central enough. Then you're going to back, jump once, save if you don't feel confident, but then you're going to just running jump and grab as late as possible and you'll land there. I recommend just saving it there if you're not sure, because it might take a couple tries. And then that's the end of the level. Whoops. Okay, cool. The deck. Very short level, fairly easy. There's another item clip, but it's more consistent than the rec one. So the first thing you want to do is draw your M16. Once you get better, you don't need to kill these two guys here, but the longer you take, the more likely it is that these guys will show up later. So you just want to stop here to kill those two guys like that. And then we can do the first slope glitch. So there's a couple of slope glitches off the bat. The first one is you want to jump twist into this corner, back up, and then tap sidestep 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then you can just back twist. That's the setup for that one. This next setup is slightly easier. You want to run and jump, so you aim for the slope. And then you want to back and immediately hold roll. If you wait too long holding roll, so if you back all the way and then wait a frame and then roll, you'll be in the wrong position. So you want to make sure that once you slid down, you back and are just holding roll. And now you're in the right position to just back twist again. And that's how you do that. Then you come up to this edge, jump and grab. And if you double tap grab, you'll avoid like the swing animation. Come up here. 3 for your auto pistols. And next we're going to perform the item clip. So the setup is something like this. You want to shoot them 6 times like normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You come around here. And you want to jump twist against the wall so you get some curve. And then you jump twist over him and shoot as you're jumping him. And that lands you in the right position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jump at an angle against the wall to twist, and then as he gets close, jump, twist, and shoot. And then the item lands in a good position. When you start out, you'll want to kill the second guy as well, so you can give yourself time to do the item clip. But once you get some practice with it, you'll have enough time to not have to kill that guy. So then you pick this up, and then you turn and tap forwards like before. Whoops, I tapped it too late. But yeah, you can do the safe way, like I explained in Offshore, where you hold walk, and once you're at this angle, you just hold forward. You come through. You can do 3 full jumps here, then a 4th up here, curve round and jump. Do a running jump off this bit, and then aim slightly up here on this slope, and then roll off. And if you angle it correctly, you'll have enough height to reach the key, like so. Once you hit this bit, you want to start lighting a flare, and you want to do 2 running jumps. Except the second running jump, you're going to want to curve slightly like that. If you don't do the slight curve, then you won't have enough steps to do another running jump, and then you do a flare cancel. So once you land here, you're going to want to run, and you're going to want to jump once Lara passes this texture here, like the metal line. As soon as she's like maybe just half a step past that, you want to press jump again, and it will land you in the perfect spot to slide down the slope that's down there. And you want to light a flare as well again, by the way. So you do a jump here, you'll land like this. Then you do another jump, and then flare cancel, and then finally another jump like this. Roll and grab this, and grab the grenade launcher. So I'll show the sequence just one more time. So after you grab the key and jumped off, you'll want to light another flare straight away. You're going to jump at that second metal texture. Sometimes that happens, so that jump was slightly too early, which meant I tapped the edge, and all it means is you get like a stumble animation here. It doesn't really matter. So you come here, do a flare cancel, do another jump, and roll. If you're too close to the edge, you won't get like the roll off, so you just have to come back here and pick it up. So once you've got this, you grab the grenade launcher, and next is the sequence with the flamethrower guys. So you want to draw your M16, and you want to jump off this edge and aim for the crate. Whilst you're jumping, try and spray the guy down if Lara gets the chance to. Sometimes RNG doesn't let it, but the ideal RNG you can get here is Lara can kill the guy while she's in midair, which saves a nice bit of time. But you don't get it often, so you just want to sidestep up here until the guy shows up around the corner. Once you've killed him, you do a step jump up to here, and then you can just run and jump and kill the second guy. If you're not confident about that bit, just take it really slowly, because the flamethrower guys are the deadliest, because being set on fire is just game over in this game. Then you want to come here and pick up this, which is the ender level. Give me 1 sec, guys. So, back to what I was saying at the very start, which is there's like a frame at the start of levels where Lara can do an action. This is the only level where it's super relevant, because it means you skip triggering. You can do a jump at the start of the level, which skips triggering an enemy, and it's also just a little bit faster. So once you finish the deck and you're on the stat screen, you want to be holding right jump, and then just tap control to finish the thing, and then you'll be up here. So usually Lara starts here, and she's dropping, so she slides down. But if you're holding that, you land here. You want to light a flare and jump over this corner and do a flare cancel. And then, whoops. And then once you're here, you want to aim for this block here, land on the other side of it, and you want to be lighting another flare as well. So you want to jump, jump, and then another flare cancel, like so. There's a small possibility, like you miss the jump or something. Say you're like this, and you trigger the snowballs. In which case, you need to quickly shoot this glass and move in to avoid them. And you can ignore the tiger. And then it means these snowballs come in as well, and you can just avoid them. That's just like a recovery strat, because I know it's happened to me a couple times, but usually you don't have to do that if you get this double jump. You'll land here, and the snowballs won't trigger. And then from that point, once you've landed, you just want to do straight running jumps and don't stop. And then as long as you do that, then it will be timed well enough to avoid those. So yeah, as soon as you've landed, just keep running jumping and you'll miss those. Jump through here. Once we get to this point, we want to do a trigger skip, which is basically if Lara can jump through the corner. Basically, this tile here triggers some enemies spawning, but you can jump through like this corner, much like you do with the block glitch, and the trigger doesn't happen. So you just line up roughly and just jump, and it's not the end of the world if you don't get the trigger skip either, because it's only like 2 eagles and you can just kill them really easily. So this next jump is another late grab jump. We want to get over there. You can't do the jump normally, so we need to use the late grab tactic. So you come up to this corner, roll, sidestep like this, and do 1 standing jump. And that's just the setup I use to like safely do it. You can just do it YOLO, like running straight from there. But once you've got this set up, just hold look to make sure you're aiming at this bit here. This bit here is too low and you'll die, but make sure you're aiming for this bit here. And then you just do a running jump and tap grab as late as possible to land here. Then you roll and do a walking jump up to this spot. You don't want to climb up normally because you trigger 2 guys. And then we get on this the skidoo, the jet ski, whatever it's called. Snowmobile even. And then you just come through here. The snowmobile is really tricky to control. It's honestly just about practice. I'll show you the lineups and everything, but it's honestly just about practice, the snowmobile. So the first thing you want to do with the snowmobile is get this jump off. So instead of going all the way around, you want to get straight up to there. You can just come up to this ramp and aim off at an angle and boost to get to here. Then you want to turn around and aim up this bit here. And when you land on the last bit, you just want to back it up a little bit and aim for that open corner. And boost through. And then you could just be holding boost here. At certain points, which I'll tell you, you don't want to hold boost because you can die. But generally, the rule of thumb is just don't boost around corners because you can just lose control. You can boost up this bit here. As you can see, it's very difficult to control. You stop here at this tile and press jump to get out. Then you backflip to grab these grenades. It's very important you get these grenades because essentially the whole game is routed such that you end the game with 10 grenades. And 10 grenades is enough to kill the final boss. So if you don't have 10 grenades on the last level, then you can't kill the final boss, basically. So then we do a simple ladder glitch here, same as diving area. The lineup's slightly harder because Lara's wearing like the coat, so you can't see the lineup I gave you earlier. But honestly, it's not a big deal. You can just climb the ladder if you can't get the skip, the ladder glitch. So you pull the lever. Make sure you're liberal with the saves on this level, especially when you're starting out, because the snowmobile is really hard to control. But you come around here, just keep boosting. Once you hit this bit, you do not want to boost turning this corner. If you're boosting around this corner, you just die. So that's literally the only, the most important one. You just do not boost coming down here. As soon as you've dropped this bit, you can start boosting again. Straight up. And you just run over the guys as you go. Boost over this jump, otherwise you won't make it. This bit's a little bit tricky as well. You generally you want to aim for like that bit there, just below that. You want to aim for the just above where the drop is, one tile above. If you boost too high up, like you could just get hit by the what the hell they're called, the snowballs. So you want to be on this first one, then come round. And this is kind of important, this bit. So basically, there's a key item here that we're going to pick up in a second. We want to park the snowmobile on like the tile right next to it. So we want to stop it basically right here. And it's going to make it easiest for us to get out of here once we've done the next sequence. So we park it here and get up. If you park too far forwards here, the snowmobile can get stuck in the snow, because basically... oh, whoops, I pressed load instead of save. So you come around here. Make sure you park up next to the key, because if you go too far forward, you may not be able to recover the ski once the snow falls down in here. But yeah, you step off, and then we want to aim for this block up here, and it's a little bit tricky to get up there. So what we want to do is we want to basically jump Lara as she hits the top of this little step bit here, and it's kind of tricky to get it right. Sometimes you get the stumble animation, so generally I just hold roll once I land up here. I got it first time that time, but often you can land it in a spot where Lara's doing like the clipping animation. So I generally just hold roll to like recover it just in case. But yeah, once you're here, you just do 2 standing jumps like this. Come around here. The avalanche triggers. And keep running around. Jump and grab on this. And pull up. This next bit is important. So basically, we want to pick up the key. When we land on that tile that the key is on, it's going to trigger an enemy. So the reason I mention this is because if you land on it and it's kind of like you mess up the thing and you have to do some adjustment, blah, 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 the guy's already coming for you. And if in a case where you're too slow, like he'll just, if you get bad RNG, he can just run you over basically. So that's the reason I'm mentioning that, is because you want to be really quick picking it up. And generally you can just aim for this, roll, and land straight on it. You can see I messed it up there. If you take like a step back to recover it, it's not bad. But you just want to jump straight back on the jet ski, the snowmobile, wherever the hell it is. But yeah, usually if you just roll off this bit, you can land straight on the key. And then you just hold action when you're under this to get in it. You want to look and wait until the guy actually passes out of the door, because otherwise you'll just hit him head on. Come back around here, same as before, and we're just going back on ourselves now, all the way back to the start of the level. So we can boost around here. Like I say, avoid boosting on corners because you'll lose control. Unlike before, you can boost down this bit. You won't die if you boost down this bit here. Yeah, you come around. Boost through here. And then we'll make a slightly tricky jump. The way you line up is you come to this edge, turn around, save if you want to, and just look, and you want to aim for like the middle gap here, like this one here. So just line up in the general direction of that and just boost. This next bit here is an interesting sequence. You basically want to come through here and hold left and then just boost whilst holding right. And what happens is it looks like you're going to die because Lara's falling really far, but as long as you're holding... Okay, I didn't have the right line up there, which is why I missed that, but because I was explaining. But yeah, I'll explain first and then do it so I don't mess it up, hopefully. But you want to boost through here, and when you turn the corner, be holding left, and then you want to hold right once you get out of it. Sorry. Had to be AFK for a second. So, yeah, like I was saying, you want to hold left, and then as you turn the corner, you hold right, and she'll kind of like bounce off the edge bit there. So yeah, hopefully in one quick sequence it looks like this. Nope, it doesn't look like that. I'm gonna like back up as if I just completed the jump, so I can hopefully show you. Because a lot of the sequences that I have to stop to explain, you obviously don't stop whilst you're actually doing it, so they're not as hard as this. So you come through here. Oh man, this one keeps messing up. I mean, if you're worried about this happening, you just don't have to hold right. But yeah, that's basically it. Holding right usually isn't a problem there. Sometimes you can miss it, like you saw, but if not, you can just go straight and it's fine. But yeah, you come out here, hop off, climb up here, and then you just running jump all the way back to the start. Use the key. And then do a side jump, forward jump. Grab the M16 ammo. Run over to the switch. Grab the medipacks here. And you're gonna want to save here. It's the only time that I recommend actually saving, and not just if like you're new or whatever. It's because there's 3 enemies about to ambush, and if you get bad RNG, they can 100 to 0 you before you can even react. Because every enemy in the game has a chance to double hit, and if they all double hit at the same time, like Lara just dies. So yeah, I recommend saving there, no matter what. But then you just run and jump around here. Use a med if you have to, but you probably won't have to. Only if you get really unlucky. And then you want to draw M16. Usually this guy doesn't spawn there, but sometimes he does. And then you're going to want to kill the guy on the snowmobile here. So you jump off like this, start walking, and just hold action to spray him down. I did it too slowly there because I was explaining. But basically the sequence looks like this. So you jump, start walking, and you want to curve to the right so he doesn't run you over if he comes up. And then that's basically how it goes. It's a tiny bit RNG dependent, but whoops. I recommend saving here at the start as well, because when you're starting out, because it is an annoying sequence. But yeah, you want to hard curve right, so if he paths up here like that, you don't get run over. But yeah, then wherever he dies, he might die up here, he might die down there. You just want to get on this snowmobile. Come around. This snowmobile doesn't have boost, but if you hold control it has guns, which we're going to use in a second. But then you just come up this side bit here. There's a small chance you die there if you fall too far, but again, it's a bit random. Come down here and start holding action to spray these guys down. Once they're dead, you can drive straight through the snowmobile, so... And I just realized I haven't been pressing the splits at all. Okay, cool. So you want to park the snowmobile right on the edge here, so about here. Make sure it's not leaning up on the tile, but like just right nicely on the edge of this tile here. So you grab and pull this. And then once the block is over the snowmobile, you can just hold action and hold forward, and you just click through like this. Then here, you just want to hold forward. Don't press anything else, or like you could miss the water and die. If you hold forward, you'll be fine. There's a small chance you have to med here because the guys can still shoot you from up there, but it's kind of rare. But yeah. then that is the end of level. Once you hit down here. So that was Tibet. It's the longest level in the game. It's also the hardest one just because the snowmobile is tricky to control. But yeah. Cool. Now Barkang. So you come down here and just run and jump. And off the bat, we're gonna do another corner bug. So come up to the ledge here and sidestep. And the lineup you're looking for is, you want like Lara's glove, like her hand. You want her skin to be basically not visible anymore when you're turning. So just like this. It's fine if like the animation still pushes it out. But you want it to just be, actually, maybe like here, so the skin is like just showing like this. And then you want to just do a standing jump. And then once you've clipped in slightly, you want to press forward and then roll. And you want to hold roll almost immediately. Otherwise there's a chance you can fall back down again. So you just want to standing jump after you've got the lineup, then forward and roll. And you land straight on the grenades, which you can pick up. Once you hit this window here, you can't actually shoot it open, but you can just run and jump at the corner like this, and you just clip through it. Hey Pimp, how's it going? We're just doing a tutorial at the moment. So you light a flare here, because you're going to use it in a second, and you want to perform another ladder bug. This one is different from the offshore one, because the instance in the offshore one where you get a clip that would have make you die, you actually want to get that other clip here. So you're going to do this ladder bug like super early. If you wait, I'll just make sure I've saved here. If you attempt to do the same lineup as the offshore one and wait too long like this, there's a strong chance that Lara will just get voided, like she'll just get stuck in the map basically. I can't seem to replicate it now, but yeah, you want to be really careful with this one. So you basically want to press down, and as soon as her gun has just disappeared, you drop and corner and right. It is almost immediately after. It's not like the offshore one at all. So it's just immediately after her gun goes into the wall, you want to let go. And then flare cancel. And again, be really careful on that one. You want to make sure the timing is really short. If you're worried you've waited too long, just don't hold right. Don't hold right and then redo the setup, because you can just clip into the wall there and it's just rip run basically. So here we're going to do another trigger skip. Basically, this tile here triggers a boulder, and you could wait for it. Like, it's not really a big deal, but you can take like 1 second to just line up and jump through the corner like that, and it skips the trigger. Don't pick up those flares because another boulder's coming. You just want to run down here. And you want to do a couple safety grabs down here because the ladder is lethal height. And then you want to push this block. This is the only like corner block bug in the game where you have to be really careful. It's a really scary one in particular because if you're angled wrong, you can void really easily. So if I'm too far like this, well, that was okay, but I'll try and show it a couple times maybe. If your lineup's wrong for this one, I might not be able to replicate it now, but if your lineup's wrong, then if it's too much into the wall, then Lara can just get stuck in the wall. So on the side of like the right hand side, just to make sure you get it 100%. Once you've done this jump here, so once you've jumped out of this bit here, you're going to want to curve around and just make sure you step on that tile there. And stepping on that tile triggers a monk, which is going to kill this guy here. So, curve around, step on this tile. And then once you're in here, once you're in this next room, you just want to jump over these things here with a running jump and a standing jump. And the hitboxes are really dodgy of those things, so there's a strong chance you can get stuck on one, which I'll show. Like this, if you get stuck, you can't jump over, and if you back up and jump, you'll still get stuck. So the best way to do it is just do 2 rolls and then a standing jump. Then we're going to pick up this item, back up. I recommend saving here as well, just because, for 2 reasons. 1, because RNG can make the enemies push you into the fire, and 2, because this corner bug is so kind of dangerous. But yeah, once you've done that again, you come back here and you do the exact same ladder bug, like really short timing. Just as soon as the pistol's into the wall, you just jump up like that. You want to grab the flares, if you've been doing a lot of flare cancels. Do a couple jumps here, and remember that because we skipped the trigger, the boulder's going to get triggered now. So it doesn't really mean anything, just make sure you're not on like that tile there, because otherwise you're going to get crushed. But now we do the setup for the dive bug. So it's a pretty easy setup. You come to here, shimmy to the very edge. Cool. Sorry, I mentioned at the start I have to go AFK randomly, but that's my bad. So sorry. So jump up, shimmy to the edge like this, drop down, sidestep right, sidestep left. And then once you're here, you need to be careful not to accidentally tap forward or left or right or whatever. You just want to hold action and tap forward to jump up, and then forward to climb up. Once you're in this position, you want to do a walking jump like so. And then once you're in this position, you want to do a standing jump like this. And it has to be those exact inputs. So if you've accidentally tapped anything else during the point, then the setup's not going to work. It has to be exactly like what I've just shown. So I'm going to show it just one more time. So you shimmy to the edge of this bit, sidestep right, sidestep left, control and up, then walking jump, standing jump, and now you're in the right position. So you're going to want to press forward and right at exactly the same time. It's not really recommended like trying to YOLO that, because if one or the other gets registered slightly before the other one, the lineup will be wrong. So the easiest way is to just buffer it. So just open the menu, and then when you close it, you're going to want to be holding forwards and right, and then you're going to be holding jump and walk to do the dive. So just like so. And then that's how you do the dive bug. Easy peasy. So again, pause buffer to get the inputs exactly the same time. Hold roll in midair if you want to be fancy. Draw your guns to get the camera back. And then you just want to come around here. And I'm going to save here. So this is an interesting bug here, which is basically, if you played this game casually, you'll know you need to run around this entire level and get 7 of the prayer wheels in order to open the door. But it turns out there's like an inbuilt glitch to the game. Like you don't actually have to do anything to set this glitch up. There's an inbuilt glitch where you can reuse the prayer wheel item basically. So it's very important here to take note of this, because if you do it wrong, then the item duplication will be void, and then like you can't progress because you'd have to do the rest of the whole level. So you come up to this one and press action like you normally would, and just go to the prayer wheel to use it. And now the prayer wheel in your inventory is in a glitched state. So you want to come up to the next one and don't press action because it will void the duplication glitch. But you want to press inventory and then go up. And you see how the seraph here is like, it doesn't have any writing on it, and it's kind of like a shaded color. This is like the glitched prayer wheel setup. So basically you just press action again, and it's just using like the prayer wheel item again, even though it's not there. So again, you don't want to press action, you press inventory up and then click. If you press action, then it's going to void the glitch. So you just got, that's what you got to be aware of, is you need to go inventory up and then select. So once you've put all of them in, that is the whole of Barkang skipped using that glitch, which is pretty cool. So then you come up here and use the Seraph. Hold back and right and guns as you're doing this. And do a forward jump, like so. And that's Barkang finished. So, the first thing on this level off the bat is don't run straight forward because you'll just die. Icicles fall down and you're just dead. So it's really easy to do because like when you're on a momentum of a speed run and you just want to be going forwards all the time, it's really easy to just be holding forwards at the start of this level. But you're going to want to very deliberately curve around. It's a shame we lost the cinematic camera there, but the camera will be looking at Lara from like the other way. You just want to make sure you're holding right, so you come this way. Dodge those, come around here. Drop down to the edge there. And you're going to want to hold grab, standing jump, and light a flare. Pull this lever. Run up here. Go central-ish with this and side flip up to here. There's a very rare scenario, RNG based, where the Yeti can get up to where you are. It can get up to this platform you're standing on. It's literally only happened once to me, so I don't know the criteria for it to work, but in case that happens, you can run down the stairs again and just jump back up. But yeah, next we do a corner bug, so just line up like this. Approximately 45 degrees and just jump into it. And then hold roll at the top and hold grab. And then you want to pull up and hold jump to do a backflip. And then do a back twist to keep running. And then you're going to want to flare cancel down here. Hold look to get your camera back. Then you can do 2 jumps here and do a slight curve jump. I missed it there because I was not concentrating. But yeah, do a very like tight curve jump to get that there, and then just be holding control to hop up the ladder. Do a jump twist here, hop up, pull the lever, side flip, and then jump up to here. And you're going to want to light another flare before that, preferably, so you don't waste time on the animation. And then there's a couple ways you could do this sequence, which are safer than others. So you're going to want to get down that hole as quickly as possible, because there's 2 enemies and like a tiger as well. So the safest way to do it is just roll and grab, and then roll and grab again, and then roll off here. And bear in mind, because this is... So that, just do it like that, basically. Because that sequence is really slow, there's a strong chance you'll have to med, because the guys have more time to shoot you. So there's a slightly quicker way, which is basically, you run up... whoops. So, you do the same thing at the start, like this. But then you want to run and let go of run to lose momentum, which makes you land on the corner there. If you don't let go of run, you'll fall straight off and die. But yeah. So you want to run here and let go like this, so then you can roll off like that. And then, I mean, I died there because I lost too much health, but yeah, that's how the sequence goes. Roll, grab, run and let go, so you lose momentum, roll, and then roll again. And then you can flare cancel or just roll, depending on which direction you landed in. Jump over that. Use this here. So next is another trigger skip. Basically, a bunch of tigers are going to spawn if you walk past the wrong point. So you're going to want to run at this angle, like really close to the boulders like that. Except, not that close, obviously, because you get killed by them. But run like this across. If you run too far to the right, you'll trigger like 5 tigers, and it's just really annoying to have to like clean them up whilst you're trying to do the next glitch. Your PB increased by 4 hours. Nice. So, yeah, next we're going to do another corner glitch. This one's a little trickier to line up. There's not a specific lineup I have. You basically just want to come to the corner like this, so her foot is like basically on the edge. You're going to want to turn slightly more than 45 degrees, similar to opera, and then just start jumping. If she doesn't start to embed after 2 jumps, adjust the angle slightly, and you can still save it. But you see here it doesn't work because she's just clipping straight through. So you just have to line up again, pretty much. And then hopefully she should clip sideways in. Let's try and get a different lineup here. Okay, so come to the edge, so her foot is just off the edge. And then turn, so she's just past 45 degrees. And if she doesn't start to get embedded, just adjust the angle. And then make sure you're holding roll, because it's similar to opera, where if you if you're not holding roll, she'll do like a stumble animation and fall off the top. But yeah, so you want to make sure you're doing that. So get a couple of jumps. If a couple of jumps she's not embedded, just adjust the angle to the right. And just keep adjusting to the right until she starts to clip in, and hold roll like this. So from this position, you're going to want to move left slightly like this. And then you just do forward and right to do a curve jump. And this jump's kind of tricky. You can't do a running jump like a backup because there's this like slope in the way, so you don't have enough distance. So you just have to turn and whoops, not that much. You have to turn and do a like a curve jump and a late grab. It's not too tricky, it's just practice. So yeah, then you come down here, you can roll off. Depending on how much health you have, you could safe grab. And then you're going to want to step on this tile, jump to this tile, jump through here, and roll. So that's that sequence. It's a timed door sequence, so as soon as you step on that first pressure plate, you just want to be as quick as possible. There's 2 things you can do here. If your health isn't flashing, so when Lara's health is really low, it starts flashing. As long as your health isn't flashing, you can just do a safety drop here and drop, and you won't die. But on the off chance you're super low and you don't want to med, you can literally just run and jump to that ladder and just do a couple safety drops. But my health isn't flashing, so I'm fine here. And that's it. So, Ice Palace. First thing you do off the bat, draw guns, shoot the bell. Simple. Opens the door. Then you run around here. And then we're going to do a corner glitch. This one is for the German EXE. There's a different way you do this on Souls, which Daren's tutorial will explain. But you line up with this corner here, turn 45 degrees, and jump and tap forward. And what you're looking for is, you're looking for Lara to move back slightly, just like that. So you're looking for Lara to get pushed by like this collision box on this wall here. So if you just jump and tap forward, you should see it on the next one. Or maybe the next one. There, she got clipped back a tiny bit. Once you've been clipped back, you're in the right spot. You just want to hold forwards and roll. And you end up to the top. Then you do a standing jump and a running jump here. And draw your M16. Then you want to run and jump. And this shooting sequence, you want to be quick. So hold shoot as soon as you get around the corner. And just make sure you kill these 2 whilst you're running. If you get stopped at any point there, the M16's mechanics are like super annoying, so then they start swarming you, and basically you just want to make sure that sequence is you make sure you want to practice that sequence, and you can kill all the enemies in time. But yeah, ignore the Yeti, don't kill the Yeti. You want to light a flare here, so you can flare cancel here, then light another flare. And basically the next sequence is we're gonna drop down, aim to the right, and flare cancel, and do a standing jump. I was too close to the right there, so I hit the wall. But yeah, drop, flare cancel. That time I was too far away. But yeah, flare cancel, and then just jump through here. That jump is trickier than it looks, so just be careful. Then you want to come around here. When you hit this corner, you want to just like stop for a second, because it's really easy to run straight off the edge, and you can't get back up very easily. So just take time to like line up walking across the corner there. That's the best advice I can give. Pull the lever, side flip, drop down, drop in and grab this thing. Now this next bit has two strats. There's the YOLO strat and the safe strat. If you mess up the YOLO strat, the Yetis can swarm you and you just die. So it's not really recommended when you start out. You want to basically just do... I messed it up there at the start. You want to do a jump and then a couple of twist jumps up the steps here. The problem with it is if you land too far away from the corner, Lara will get like a stumble animation while she's trying to recover it, and by that time the Yetis will already be on you. So it's jump, jump, forward twist, back twist, like that. That's the YOLO strat. The much safer way, which honestly like takes the same amount of time in the grand scheme of things, is just come to this bit, hold control and up, and then hold control and up again, and that guarantees the Yetis miss you. So then pull out your gun and run down here, head for the right hand side because the boulders are like coming down. Then hop up here, and then aim. You want to aim 45 degrees to make this jump here. 45 degrees out of that hole to make the jump. There's a couple of scenarios here. If you're like too far this way, you'll land on the slope, and you're going to need to do like a series of just like curved jumps basically. Whoops. If you land on the slope, you can either shimmy or just do a bunch of curved jumps. It's up to you really. But ideally you just get this 45 degrees. So next is the weapon combine glitch. So basically what this glitch does is you enter like a glitched state on the ladder, so the game's confused about like what weapon you're holding. And then once you're in this glitched state, you can press any weapon, and you can press any other weapon hotkey, and then the M16 will use the ammo of whatever hotkey you pressed. So in this example, this is the only time we actually use this glitch, is to kill the boss at the end. We basically do the glitch, and then we press the shotgun hotkey, and the M16 will rapidly fire 12 shotgun shells at the enemy, which just kills it instantly. And that's the strat that we do. So you climb up here, and you want to run and jump at the ladder. And then as Lara's doing like the climb up animation, where she's going from like, so like grabbing to like this, so she's got like arms and legs on it. During that animation, you press jump and draw weapon at the same time. So you can see from my inputs, I press jump and draw weapon, and you can see now in a weird state where Lara can shoot like while she's climbing the ladder. So you want to jump, grab, press jump and weapon, and then once you've drawn it out, you can tap space again, so you don't waste ammo. The glitch state is basically there now. And then once you hit the top here, you climb up, and while you're climbing up, you just tap weapon again. And now you're in a glitch state with the M16. So you can see Lara's holding the M16, but there's no ammo counter at the top. And if I'm pressing action, like, she's not shooting or anything. So this is now the weapon combined glitch setup. You don't want to like draw any other weapons or anything whilst you're doing this, because it will like void the setup, and we need it to kill the final boss. So the next bit is the dropping sequence, which is let me make a new save just in case the weapon combined messed up or something. You want to aim for like the corner and roll into the corner like this. So you're this way. And then you don't want to, and you can see the animations are pretty funny as well whilst you're in this glitch state. You don't want to grab like this. You just want to tap. You want to tap action so that you have forward momentum. And once you have forward momentum, you're going to land on a slope, and then you're going to do like a curved left-hand jump. So the sequence is kind of intricate here. So you roll, hold, curve jump, and then late grab. This is another one which is just practice, but yeah. So you tap action to move that way, jump to the side, and then late grab. Again, roll, action, side jump, late grab, and that's the sequence done. Again, that's just practice. Once you hit this door, you can clip right through it, same as the window in Barkang. You just want to aim roughly like here, and just start jumping. And Lara will just clip through. And once you're in, pick up this gold thing. Okay, so this is where we use the weapon combine glitch. You climb up here. Once you're out sliding down, you can tap 2, which is the shotgun hotkey. And now the M16 fires shotgun bullets. So you can see we kill it instantly. And this can be done with any weapon. It's only used with the shotgun in this run. But for example, if you press the grenade launcher button, you can see that the rapid fire grenades, which is pretty funny. But yeah, we only do it with the shotgun here. So there's 2 ways you do this. You either just come straight down, tap 2 for the shotgun, curve round, and just kill him immediately. And as soon as his dying animation has finished, the level is over. There's an alternative thing you can do, which is if you're very low on meds, there's a spare large health pack. And you can get it pretty easily by, if you run here like you were before, except don't shoot him, run back around here, run into like the hole that he came from. You could jump onto the med pack, kill him now, and then you have time to put away your weapon and pick this up. If you try and run for the med pack as soon as you've killed him the first way, you don't have enough time to do it. So yeah, that's the way you can do that if you need an extra med. So Jeanne, very hard level when you're starting out, for me at least. But yeah, it's a tricky level. There's a lot of sort of intricate movements, but yeah, starting off, you basically just want to keep doing running jumps, and just keep running jump and aiming to the right like this. And you slide down. Once you're here, you want to jump twist to avoid the blade. Hold action to get some forwards momentum for this bit. Once you're on this slope, you want to jump sideways, so you're like hugging the wall. And then once you drop here, you do a jump twist. And hold action. Now you're in this position here. And you want to climb up like so. You want to sidestep to the edge, so you're here. You want to back and grip again and climb up, so you're in like a perfect like forwards facing. And then now we do the Jeanne skip, which is basically just a really specific curve jump. So basically we want to get over there onto that slope. And the setup's not too hard. It might just take some practice. But once you're in this spot, you just roll. And then you're going to do 5 side steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Lara shuffles forward like this. Then you do side step this way. And now Lara's in the right position to do the curve jump. So you basically, using a pause buffer, like in Barkang, you want to be holding right and forward. And then you want to jump and roll. And you land like this. So again, that's just going to be about practice. Rewatch the setup if you need to. But yeah, you just jump twist, land on this. Once you're in this position, you shimmy to the edge. You climb up. Just be holding jump and roll, and then curve sideways like that. So that's how you do that. Next thing you want to do is press this button and tap 3 to cue your pistols. And then you just curve around like this and kill the bird. There's a med here, which you can take. You wait for that thing to pass and just grab it. Bear in mind, if you're too slow with picking that up, the blade thing is coming back, so just be wary of that. So once you're here, you come down, Once you're here, you want to back up and line up like this. You can obviously do it in one movement as well. You don't need to do the lineup, but you want to jump here onto these springboards and make sure you don't press anything other than the jump. If you press grab or something whilst you're doing those, if I press like grab this, I get too much forwards momentum and it doesn't work. So you just want to jump and be bouncing. You can tap forward and tap right to edge towards the edge. Once you hit the last one, you want to tap control to fly up to here. And you want to aim for being the right-hand side of this black texture. And the reason being is because you're going to jump straight up to the next bit, which is kind of specific. So you just use this lineup, basically. So on the last one, you just curve right, tap action, and as long as you're roundabout on the black line, you could do a straight running jump up to here. Obviously, if you don't feel comfortable, just take the time to line it up. Yeah, you kill that bird, and now you're basically in like the final room of what is usually an enormous level. But yeah, you come around here, climb up the ladder. Shimmy. As soon as you see the shadow, it means you can drop. Do a slight curve jump there and climb up to here. And now we're going to do a ladder glitch, which is pretty easy. Jump on the left-hand side. It's the only ladder glitch where we do it from the other way. So it means you got to wait longer till she clips in. But it works in exactly the same way, really. Basically, you just run up to the ladder, grab it, go left, tap down. Once she clips in, just hold left and up, and you clip up like this. There's a small chance that she gets the stumble and she'll fall down, so just save there if you're not confident doing that, or just climb up the ladder as intended. Run around and pull the lever. And then there's the YOLO strat, which is you can come up this way, and as you can see, it's a little bit specific. So I'll just show you the lineup. So basically you can reach that without going to the platform first. You just got to come to the very edge and back up, and then you have to do a late grab, and you can get up like this. Obviously, since you'll be very late into the run at this point, you might not want to risk it. So you can just do the normal jump over to here and climb up. And then just sidestep to the edge, turn around, and jump. So this next sequence is pretty important. You want to pick up the key at kind of like this angle. And you're going to want to back up and hold grab. And just make sure you hold grab twice like that. So I need to explain this more. So once you've backed off, just tap grab. So she's got forward momentum, and that's going to make sure she slides down the correct way. On the second bit, as you fall down, you want to tap grab as well, but not hold it because you don't want to grab this edge. And the reason you tap grab is because you want to be hugging this wall. And then from this point on, you want to hold left and forward. And it's going to basically, instead of making her slide down, she's going to kind of like just slip off that edge bit, which is really useful because it means you don't have to like do all the slides again. But yeah, grab twice, hold up and left. At this point here, if your health is flashing or maybe like 30-40%, you're gonna want to heal because you won't survive that drop. But yeah, that's the only thing to note there. Come over to the key, put the key in. Do that little sequence there where you just go back and round like that. Then jump to this, and then you're going to climb part way up this ladder, and you're going to jump at a specific point. So the point you're looking for is for Lara's legs to be on this line here. So you can see pretty clearly like the texture seam, but it's basically where like it's the same level as like where these triangular textures stop. So like this one right here. Once her feet are on that, you just press jump, and you land here. You back up once, and hit here. And then once you're in this corner, you just line up approximately 45 and just jump. This is a very easy corner bug. You clip into it really easily. Once you're up here, you come round, and you go left, not right. If you go right, you end up in the previous room. But yeah, then you just line up this, or YOLO it. Jump to this, and jump twist. So there's a slightly more advanced strategy to this, which people don't usually show on like beginner guides, but I'm going to show it because it's not particularly hard and it saves like 15-20 seconds. Basically, what you want to do is you want to climb up on this ladder, and once she's in this animation, like when she's all fours climbing it, shimmy to the very left edge, and you want to climb up like this. And then the spot we're aiming for is this one. So again, you can see the seam in the texture here. Use this as a reference point, and we want to be 2 below it, so 1, 2. If you're struggling to see the seam, which hopefully isn't the case, because it's fairly obvious, then you could just count it as 1, 2, 3, 4 below the blade one. But yeah, honestly, this is a fairly obvious like texture seam that you can see. So 1, 2 from there. And again, don't have pressed. Make sure you haven't pressed the left or right arrow keys, because you'll void the horizontal positioning that you have. So once you're in this setup, we're gonna do some pause buffering. So you want to jump, and before you land, you want to start pause buffering. So about here, start pause buffering. And when you hear the frame that she's landed, you'll hear the landing. That's when you want to start. So you just keep buffering. So you heard there like the landing sound. Once you know she's landed, you're going to pause buffer a jump, and then you're going to pause buffer a single left input. And then once you've done jump and left, you're good. So you just press close the menu and hold action. So then you climb up literally only one thing. So 1 like that. Well, that was 2, I guess. Actually, like 2 rungs of the ladder. Once you're in this spot, you jump, twist, and grab. And now we're in the perfect spot to perform the glitch. So you don't want Lara to be like this. You need her to be like hanging like that. So you can just tap control again, like release and press action if you need her to be in this spot. But yeah, we're basically going to shimmy to the right, and she's going to embed somewhat into the wall. And at the latest possible point, you just let go of action and she'll clip up. So hopefully I can show it first time. Like so. So it's honestly not too tricky. Once you're in this spot, it's basically about, so you see I didn't get it there. It's basically about just timing it. So if it's too early or too late, you won't clip into the wall. But honestly, like, it only took me like about 10 minutes to get the kind of timings down and stuff. But yeah. An alternative to that strategy is simply don't bother with the pause buffering, jump in the exact same spots that we did before, and simply just climb up this ladder. And once you've climbed up the ladder, you want to jump on the slope to get to this spot. And then assuming you're on this texture seam again, you just count 7 steps up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And once you're here, you're safe to jump backwards. And then you just do 2. Don't do a standing jump there, obviously. You just do 2 standing jumps. And that is Temple of Xian. So, next one is Floating Islands. I'm going to show you the safer Floating Island skip. There's a more advanced one, which I don't know. So, I'm obviously not going to teach it because I don't know it. But, yeah. Off the bat, light a flare and do a running jump. And then another running jump and a grab and a flare cancel. You climb up here. And then we're going to do a trigger skip, which is basically, there's 2 Jade soldiers down there. The next tile, this one here, triggers the second one. And if you trigger the second one, it's like it's really annoying to get like the next lineup you need. So you can skip it fairly easily by jumping here and just curving around. Honestly, I would save, like, when you're running, I would save here, like where I have. And once you do the curve jump, if you see that you've like accidentally triggered the second guy there, then honestly just reload because it's really annoying. Then you want to back up and jump to grab this. Whoops. Okay, wait, let me show it how it would look in an actual run so I don't get weird RNG. So you do a curve jump like this. That guy's going to take off, and you want to do this as quick as possible. You want to just back up, run, jump, and grab. And basically, once this guy is like off the edge, just pull up like that, and he's going to fall down basically. But he will come back relatively quickly. So you want to jump to this corner here, and just do 2 or 3 jumps to get the corner bug. Same as every other corner bug, just 45 degrees. Once you're up at this spot, you want to kind of do a curved jump around this bit, and to land on the slope, and it avoids a stumble animation. Then you get to this bit here, and you want to jump over this boulder. And this is important to note. This sequence is really specific, so jump over this boulder and don't press anything. As soon as you've got the stumble, cue a forward jump, and then a standing jump like this. There's a bunch of times where like I've pressed jump too early like this, and then it's just like game over basically. So that's this point. It's pretty late in the run. Like you might be nervous or whatever about losing time. So just make sure you do this bit very deliberately, like forward jump, back jump. Once you're here, come over to the left-hand edge of this tile here. If you jump too far to the right, you'll trigger that guy over there, and it's just like more RNG annoyance. But yeah, just do a normal jump to this. Come to this corner, back up. And this angle is, there's no specific lineup, it's just trial and error and practice. We're aiming for that edge there, which we have to do a late grab for. So you honestly just want to line up with the corner, back up like I did, and then do slightly right curve to land on this edge. From this position, we're going to do the set up the floater skip. So you come to the very edge, pull up, jump forward, back, and then left sidestep. Once you're in this position, you're in the right spot to do the thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold right for about a second, and I'm going to show you a couple things. How many times should a beginner practice each of these? Until you get it, basically. It's just variable. A lot of things seem tricky, but they're not actually too hard. The hardest part about this game is actually just like doing the movement sequences correctly and stuff. The glitches themselves aren't actually too tricky. But once you're here, you're gonna hold right for about a second, and a couple of things are gonna happen. Basically, when you hold right, when you hold a direction, Lara's gonna turn, and no matter when you let go, she's only gonna end up in a certain amount of spots because of the way like the momentum works for turning. And Daren, I don't know if you discovered it, but Daren was the one who explained this to me. You want to hold right and let go, and basically the spot you want to be at is Lara's head needs to be on the edge here. And if you overshoot it like to here, all you need to do is buffer 3 left inputs back. So 1, 2, 3, and you can see her head's in the right position now. So tap it, and if you overshoot, do 3 buffers like this. I think that was 4 actually. Whoops. But yeah, this is too far, so it would be 6 buffers. But that's the kind of, this is the YOLO way you could do it, the bufferless strat. So this is the correct position now, where her head is almost touching the corner, and then you could jump and grab, and you do a corner bug up to here. In case you don't want to do the YOLO lineup, there's an easier buffer strat, which is you draw guns and you do 4 right buffers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You wait a second, put your guns away, and then 1, 2, 3. And then once you've done that, again, you're in the right spot to just jump and grab. Okay, apparently I did something wrong. I was distracted, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Actually, hang on. Apologies. So I think it's only 2 buffers on the second part, not 3. Yeah, so it's only 2 buffers, not 3. My bad. How much improvisation is involved? I would say a fair amount. Sometimes you like fall off things you're not meant to fall off and stuff like that, and you have to like run around and find like an alternative route. But I'd say a fair amount until you start getting to like really good times on this game. A lot of the movement sequences are improvised. People going for like world record and stuff will have set movement sequences for like every single thing, which is basically how you get to like the really good times on this game. But improvisation is what you'll do when you start out, so that's basically what I've been showing. I haven't been showing any specific movement sequences or anything. But yeah, once you've done that setup to get into this spot here, once you're in this spot, you just jump forward and grab, and you'll clip up like this. Once you're in this spot, you do Once you're in this spot here, you do 2 side flips like this, and light a flare. And then once you're in this position, you're in the right place to line up the floater skip. So this kind of like black texture here on the slope, you want to turn so that her head is like almost touching it. So pretty much this line up here. And this level is hell when you're starting out because there's RNG with the guys coming around, and sometimes they can push you and stuff. If you're using the Souls executable, then you actually need the guy to push you because you can't do the same thing in German. But yeah, you want to turn to this lineup like this, and you want to do a walking jump. So you're here and hold forwards the entire time, and then you want to turn left so that her head is lined up with the edge there. And then, like I say, the RNG is really annoying. Happens to be really annoying for this guy, but you won't get this RNG this bad in an actual run because you won't take as long to line stuff up. Because I've been explaining it. But yeah, line up the edge of her head with this. Do a walking jump. Turn around so her head is almost touching the corner. Then you want to jump. Turn around like this and then jump. And then that's the floating island skip. So line her head up with that. Jump. Turn around until she's almost touching the edge here. Jump. Then turn around again and jump. So that's going to take a lot of practice, but yeah, it's just one of those things. So line up with that spot. If that happens, like she hits the thing first, that means the lineup was the angle was wrong. So just bring it back slightly, like this. You can see the angle is wrong here. For some reason the angle is we didn't change anything about the save, but the angle's wrong. But yeah, there's not much more to say about this other than just like copy the inputs that I'm doing and stuff. One thing I will show which can be useful is if you assume you like fail this, you get slid down to this point, you just need to do 2 side steps and then do the exact same thing. The guy pushed me there, so the lineup wasn't correct, but yeah, assume we fail this, for example. You want to do 2 side steps, turn around. You're going to be in a slightly different spot, so you're going to want to aim more on top of that spot than not. And I'll just kill this guy so I can explain quickly. Obviously, you don't kill him in an actual run, but yeah, once you've done this recovery, the lineup isn't quite the same. So you want her head to actually be covering this spot instead of being like right on the edge. But then everything else works the same. Whoops. So yeah, basically try and get it first time on this setup because this setup is more precise. If you have to recover it though, you can do it that way. But yeah, once you're out here, you just flare cancel. Try and do a running. Whoops. Yeah, don't do that. Try and do a running jump out of the hold so you can land, don't land on the slope. But you come around here, line up on the left-hand side, and just do a pretty standard like back jump. Hop back to here, turn, and jump. And that's Floating Islands done. So, if you're at this point in the game, I loaded a save, so I had everything so I could explain and stuff. But at this point in the game, doing the route that I've shown, we're gonna have everything we need to finish the game. We're basically gonna have 10. You'll have exactly 10 grenade launchers, which is enough to kill the dragon. You'll have approximately like 100 and something M16, which is enough to kill the 2 guys we need. What might be variable though is how many meds you have. So you're gonna need at least 3 large med packs, at least 3. Ideally you have like 4 or 5 when you're starting out for mistakes and stuff. But there's one right here that you can just grab. But yeah, just remember you need at least 3 med packs for that. Once you draw your weapon, you're gonna want to do this sequence whereby you just run into this guy here, and you start shooting, and you're basically shooting the guy at the end there. So I don't know if I did save. Okay, cool. So yeah, you want to grab this med pack here, take out the M16, and you just want to run into this guy and just start shooting. And as soon as you see the guy kind of like stand up, you can just leave because he's dead. Then you walk around here, pull this lever, and I recommend you save here as well because the next sequence is pretty tricky. So as quick as you can, you want to run around here, run through here, draw your M16, and don't shoot anyone here. Basically, you want to hit this point, and as soon as this guy spawns, you start shooting him. Then you want to kind of do a little loop round like this to avoid getting blocked by the guy, and then ideally land on the item there. You can see from that example there that if you like hesitate or like mess up a position on anything in this room, it's basically it's sort of game over. It's very hard to recover from like a position error in this last bit. I guess if you happen to have a bad position error, you just can run around a bit to like reorganize the guys. But yeah, you want to jump to here, start walking, spray this guy down as soon as he spawns. Do a little loop, keep an eye on your health the whole time because you're going to need to heal. Roll into the item pickup. This is likely where you'll have to use your first large med. I'll run around a bit here so I can explain something briefly, but once you pick the item up here, you should be able to do a normal standing jump like this. On the off chance you get blocked by the guys, you could try and do like a backflip instead, but pretty much you're just gonna want to try and do a regular forward jump. So the sequence looks like this: jump this way, hold walk, and spray this guy down as soon as he spawns. Do a loop like this because otherwise the guy will block you. Roll onto the item and pick it up. Be ready to use a med and do a standing jump, and then come straight into here, and then be queuing up the left flip. Use meds when possible, but then left flip and jump through here, and light a flare for a final flare cancel. And that's that sequence there. It's pretty tricky when you start out. If you're in doubt, just run them around a bunch of times until you can pick them up. So this is the final boss. Luckily, it's actually the easiest enemy in the game because of a specific lineup you can do. You come to this pillar here, and I don't know if you can see the kind of slightly lighter texture here. This isn't that exact, but you just run up to this, back, turn slightly so you're aiming in the general direction. And as soon as the dragon spawns, you can just hold action to spray the grenades at it. And it will take exactly 10 to kill it. As you can see, he's trying to blow fire at you, but the pillar's blocking it, so you literally don't need to do anything at this part. Once you've killed him, put away your weapon and just run towards him. And just hold action whilst you're running into this the music is very loud compared to the rest of the game. Sorry if that blew your eardrums out. But yeah, then you want to run and jump down here and light a flare. The reason you light a flare is because when you do this jump here, sometimes the sequence is wrong. The jumping sequence is wrong, such that you can. Oh wait, let me mute because that volume was very loud. So yeah, you want to do a standing jump and keep doing running sequences. Light a flare here. And keep jumping. When you get to this jump here, where like it looks slightly lower, just flare cancel. Like usually you don't have to, but just in case, because if you get a stumble animation, you'll die. And that's that. And then the very loud music comes in. As soon as you gain control of Lara, side flip and back twist, and hold action to get to the gun cupboard. I just realized I haven't been doing the splits either. The splits are more for like my reference. But yeah, then you want to come in, climb up, grab this, and you have to do this pretty efficiently. Grab this, then backflip to grab this, then back to grab this one. The more efficiently you do this, the better the RNG is you get. If you wait too long in the gun cupboard, then all the enemies start to converge like into the bedroom area, and then it's really difficult to like clean them all out whilst not dying and stuff like that. So the quicker you do this bit here, the easier it is. Then you want to grab the shotgun, kill the guy here, jump straight off the balcony, and then head right. And there's two enemies down here. And this is the only level where RNG is like largely at play. But yeah, you kill one dog and one guy down here. Then you turn around and kill two thugs that should be running up to you. The positions of the enemies is very variable here depending on RNG, but for example, that dog can spawn like a lot further back and stuff. So just make sure you run all the way to the end if you don't see them. Sometimes if you're too slow, there's a okay, so yeah, the thug spawns here. Sometimes he doesn't. Okay, so two actually path this way. But yeah, then you kill the dog and this guy in the little park area. This is round about the point where you want to be keeping a close eye on your meds. That guy drops a med there, like, just in case. But pretty much at this point, you just want to run out into this area and kill the remainder of people. Again, keep a close eye on your meds. There's just a lot of the guys with pistols, which do a lot of damage. Once you've killed everyone, glance inside briefly, and if you can't see anyone, it probably means you've done it. So yeah, once you've killed everyone there, head towards the door again, and this final guy is going to spawn. And you can just pretty much stand there and shoot him. And that's it. The music is very loud. I apologize. Let me turn it down.
Don't you think you've seen enough?
And that is Tomb Raider. That is Tomb Raider 2, the speedrun. Just for FYI, if you're doing like RTA timing, the time finishes after the little cutscene where she says, "Don't you think you've seen enough?" As soon as she shoots the shotgun, that's when time ends. So yeah, 3 hours 20 minutes. That's around the time I was expecting this to be honest. But that is essentially the whole run, start to finish. It's how you do the run, with the glitches and tricks explained. There is Makeal, Tomb Raider runner in the community, has done the whole game, the glitch speedrun, in huge depth. So each video is like 30 minutes to an hour long for each individual level. Obviously, this is like a quick start guide, which is why it's relative to that, it's short. But yeah, watch Makeal's videos for Like for example, if I haven't explained something as well, or like you didn't understand an explanation, then you can go ahead and check out Makeal's tutorial. Um, for certain glitches I mentioned that use the Souls executable, I mentioned it maybe 2 or 3 times. You want to check out Daren's tutorials for that. But other than that, yeah, hopefully this guide has given you a good idea of how to get started with the speedrun. If you follow the route I've done and the tricks I've showed you, you can basically just jump straight into the game. And you're if you do a no reset run, if you once you've learned the route and it's like all in your head, you could probably easily get like an hour and maybe like an hour and 30, an hour and 40 minutes like on your first run. Uh, assuming you've practiced like the individual levels as well. But yeah, that was the speed run. So, and also if you're watching the stream right now as well, and not on like YouTube later, that's also going to be the end of the stream for now. But thank you all for watching, and hopefully this guide was useful.